And we are back. Welcome back. Had to do a few little technical things. I have the main man, the number one from the Las Vegas Click, excuse me,
Yeah,
Chicken Tech. Happy to have you here on the
appreciate it.
desk. How you feeling so far?
Pretty good. Well, I guess better than the xGODS right now.
Yeah. So I heard about this a little bit during the break.
Mhm.
That the xGODS were in fact not going to play DVD against the Wolves. I don't know how much you know,
Yeah.
any insight you have into how good of a team they are.
I mean, Gurns is really good at DBD. I would say he's probably their best daylight player. And on the xGODS, I know they don't really have a whole lot of survivors. I mean, like that they can play survivor, but like they're not exactly like the best survivor squad.
Yeah,
So
I think we saw that in y'all's game actually when we were talking about it. It was like uh I was watching y'all and this was the issue where killer feels really strong until
mhm.
you work against coordinated survivors,
Yeah,
and then it feels like you're trying to do too many things at once and it
yeah.
ends up leaving you just in a position where you almost feel powerless to do anything at all.
Yeah, I mean, right now, like realistically, uh, like in Dead by Daylight is definitely like killer sided right now.
Okay.
But for the longest time, it was survivor sided. But it was only survivor sided in like Swifts or like basically 4-man groups online in Discord. Because like in the actual game, there is no actual open communication. So
It requires it's very different, and we are you in the UEO. We do get some of that communication, but I don't think as many teams kind of showed out like you. I don't know how much of you caught it, but we have
mhm,
another shooter rolling, and today
yep,
the Wolves have yet to lose a shooter. In fact, forcing out two separate forfeits from
yeah.
the X Gods on that shooting side of things. Sounds like that's kind of expected from your end. Um,
I mean, without the X guys having Hasaj, like they're gonna struggle because like the Wolves have a, I mean, realistically they're all shooters, right? It's like I don't know about
Lamani.
Lemani,
Yeah.
but in Exile definitely not. But for the rest of them, yes, 100%. Like they're all like really like if 10 was being pro in just like a singular game, I'd say they're all like eights.
Yeah, I having been around a lot of obviously Doomsday and
Yeah,
Snappy don't need their own introduction, but then all the X-rays, every single one of them that I've met,
yeah,
none of them have bad aim. They
no,
all know their roles, especially things like Overwatch. They know
yeah,
how to excel. So I think they're taking it to the X Gods pretty heavily today. Uh, the X Gods, on the other hand, they've found their wins outside and everything else. The fighters, unfortunately, second was due to a button check not being heard
yeah.
and a hit. But beyond that, they've won sports. They've been in every other category across the wheel. So Fortnite
Mhm.
here at the league, maybe you can explain it as a player a little bit better. How do we play it in comparison to how maybe most people think about Fortnite?
So Fortnite is basically it's 5 man in Bios trios. So there's 4 teams in Bios trios, and so on one team you're gonna have a team of 3 and a
Yeah,
team of 2,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then the opposite team or opposite UEL team is also going to have a team of 3 and a team of 2. So what's interesting about it is it makes it hard, like being able to identify who your teammates are on your opposite team because then now you have the the open friendly fire, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's happened to us. It's happened to other teams, I'm sure. Like I think not our last game against the Cyclones, but the game before that. I think it was y'all, wasn't it?
It might have
Yeah,
been, but there was one game I know.
yeah,
There's multiple games where I've been here where someone goes and then it's like that was me.
yeah.
Famously, the Shoguns,
Or yeah,
Mr.
no,
B,
that's what it was. It
at
was the Shogun.
at the end
Yeah,
of their game, Mr. B just killed everyone in
yeah,
sight, and I just see Arbiter turn around and scream like,
yeah. So him
"Hey!"
actually killed Killer in in against the Shoguns in Fortnite, and ultimately like that hurt a lot. Considering Killer is like one of the better players on their team at the
Yeah,
game. But yeah, I mean it happens sometimes, but it's like that's you just have to get better communication, and if you can't do it, well, you gotta learn to do it. You just
yes.
gotta practice.
At the end of the day, these players are going to have to do that here in a second. Jumping into this Fortnite, I'm also interested in colors. I've seen more teams kind of swapping around the colors they
Yeah.
pick, and I think a lot of it has to do with positioning.
Yep.
If I know what base you're coming out of, I can quickly. All right,
Yeah.
cool. You're coming from red. Don't have to look to my left. Maybe I just have to worry about the right side of the map.
Yeah.
So we will see. Having to get inside the map, uh, I have to believe this is to the X Gods plans though. There's 4 forfeits used, and usually if you
Yeah.
use that many forfeits, it's kind of like you knew coming into the
Mhm.
game what you were going to do. The Wolves went ahead and used a timeout. So, like, picking your brain,
Yeah.
when y'all played the Shoguns, flashing back to that game,
Yeah.
y'all knew that fighting games were going to be hard, and so I know
Yeah.
that y'all probably had on the boards. If it's a pretty rough lineup, right? Teams
Yeah.
will use those forfeits to be like, "There's not time to waste on this one game. Let's focus on the other, in this case, 32 games that could
Yeah.
possibly."
Yeah. Well, I mean, if a team takes an entire category,
Mhm.
like so, like they take the entire fighting game category just because of Chris G. So you're 90% of the time is better just to forfeit to get more time in the other categories for the games that should be your team's games, right? But like there is like the off chance, like hey, we know he's not available, and you know a certain fighter rolls, then it's like okay, now odds have increased extremely high. Let's try to steal this win, and yeah,
The best teams don't have hard forfeits. We have
Yeah.
like, in worst case scenario, this is what we do. I love to get that insight because at the end of the day, people, UEL is such a different format than any other league out in esports, where
Yep.
we're playing all these different games, 33 across 5 categories. That we have to approach the game different. And you've been honestly a top player and a veteran of this league for so long
Mhm.
that it's at the point where I think you know how to look at UEL, not just the individual games
Yeah.
anymore. So I don't know if you've seen everything that was played today, but is there something you do want to see these two teams play?
So I got here a little late, so I don't know everything that was played. I think the one thing I would really like to see is F1 and
F1. Ooh.
let's see. Okay, let's see what's left.
So the only shooter left is the finals now.
The finals.
Yeah, should be
Okay.
the only shooter left on the entirety of the wheel. But you mentioned F1 is still up there, available to be played. CTR, I know that's one of your games. Core as well. StarCraft 2.
F1 and Forza would be really good to see. F1, I don't think the Wolves win, but I think it could be close. But anything can happen in that game. Like just AI decides to break check you and you're out of it.
That sounds like personal
Yeah.
experience and stuff, where you're just
Yeah.
like, you've done everything else right, and then just the
Yeah.
age has just
Yeah.
decides to
Most of
injure
the
us.
time, it's like for me personally, if it happens, it's because there's someone who doesn't know how to drive that starts at the head of the pack, and they're just like making the AI go crazy. But
That makes a ton of sense. So it sounds like we're gonna be jumping in
All right.
to some Fortnite here, and hopefully you can help me navigate the game a little bit. I know we both are like, Fortnite's fine. It's when you get to some of the extreme ends of building,
Yeah.
where I'm kind of like, okay, you're making 5 edits a second,
Yeah.
looking at every direction, and know exactly what you're doing. Then I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I could use a little bit of a hand
Which
here.
honestly, I'm surprised this hasn't been
Yeah,
a
watch the
forfeit
next
on
the last shooter
xGODS,
fucking rolls, the
just
finals
since
coming
they've
up.
forfeited every
Holy
shooter.
fucking
So I don't know. Maybe
Wait,
they're
was it
thinking
FC?
like, okay, so this one's kind of
FIFA?
a quick
Oh,
game,
yeah.
you know. So
Let's run the
they're,
shit.
maybe they're saving it for the finals or another or like something else that's more specific to something that they feel like they just lose 100% outright no matter who's in.
That is true. I haven't talked to the Xbox. Like, they always have a plan coming into the game. They're never walking in and just, hoping. So it looks like we are watching Snappy.
And
So
Snappy's on blue
Yes.
with who's PC1?
PC1, that will be one of his teammates. We'll find out here
Okay.
shortly. But yeah, for people at home, if you're wondering who we're watching, you can look either to the top and bottom. In the middle, there's an arrow pointing, but
Yep.
if they're in color, that's who we're watching. And this is Snappy. So Lamani is over there on PC1. So it looked like these two are the two players running together.
Yeah.
On
Right
the-
now, it looks like they're just trying to get some damage off, making the enemy team waste some resources. Sometimes it might not be a waste though, because sometimes there's just extra like health or shield. What do you call it? The blue
Shields.
Your shields. Yeah.
I think Nexus might have wanted some extra shields because that sniper shot immediately takes him out
Yeah.
coming out of Snappy. And what you were speaking to, maybe this might have been a good forfeit. It looks like they're trying to maybe have surrounded the Wolves players
Yeah.
and are trying to push them from two sides, hopefully stopping any possible pressure from like these two clearly comfortable for it.
Yeah. I would say maybe they're focusing like really heavy on just trying to get Snappy out, and then maybe swap over to Doomsday to try to target him. Because like if I was playing against him, those would be the two that I'm trying to target. And you got to think like Snappy and Doom used to be on a team with basically everybody on the enemy team. So like they should all, and they played this game for I don't know, seasons upon seasons together. So you like they know generally what skins they're going to be running, so they know who to look for. And yeah, it's I would say that's a pretty big indicator on like how easy it is to to go for him.
That makes a ton of sense. And we're watching Havoc to your face here. Stuck in the storm,
Yep.
trying to continue to push forward. Getting a little bit more health. And now swapping over. We see Nexus watching X-Ray Kevin, who's kept Havoc outside of the base. Kenny here looking around, crawling, trying to get a little bit of information as well. And it looks like we could be in a pretty even situation. AJ killing another player and seeming to take over this Fortnite game. You mentioned that maybe that they thought this was one they could steal, they could take, maybe having come up with a strategy specifically for it. And it looks like he is now playing for height, hoping to just jump over the likes of his opponent and trap them. That's the sign of a good Fortnite player. If you understand how to build and one of his teammates communicating exactly where he is, having eyes on this player, means they're able to play. No
so honestly, like I think this is one of AJ's better shooters across the wheel. Like AJ's like really good at the majority of the shooters. You know, he's known for his sports, but his aim doesn't. How do you say it? It doesn't disappoint.
Okay, so he's
I
mean, looking back at, you know, the team where they all were teammates, it was kind of understood that everybody on that team, they're not necessarily going to all be top in shooters, but they are solid across the board in every single one of the shooters. Continue to compete, but here we see one of the twins just continuing to climb up higher and higher and put pressure down on the low ground as AJ tries to get him out, but he's able to escape to another build. And now just trying to bring this entire build down. And he jumps back across now, constantly just making AJ guess and finally starting to bring him down from height. AJ, like you said, really seems to understand what he should be targeting and how to approach Fortnite and how to just put pressure on his opponent.
Yep.
On the brick wall, still on the brick
I don't. So this is like a terrible game for me because like this is so much going on. Like and like these guys know everything as far as the edits to crank at 90s to, you know, like boxing people in, you know, and like I don't see my brain cannot process this fast.
He just took a lot.
And we see they're just chasing each other, doing everything that you're saying, even the awareness there to drop down and to create a little bit of space. But it looks like one round, that was one of our best of 3 rounds finally finishing there. And it came down to individual players on each team. So it sounds like a strategy of attacking maybe some of those strong points, like Snappy, like Doomsday, would be a key to winning here, especially if AJ, you know, can kind of carry that late.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Well, didn't Havoc go down like in the zone?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like maybe if he plays a little more aggressively, because like most teams try to play for center control like immediately, and then just play high ground, right? So yeah, I feel like neither team is really trying to do that. So I just personally I just don't see the benefit of trying to take center. I think both of these teams are playing right now the way you should be playing in this game mode, or they're the style of Fortnite, and just basically just trying to control like the majority of the area instead of just one small area in the center, and moving with the zone that way.
Okay. I have to. I mean, I have to. Like, I think obviously for the really talented Fortnite players, they don't care. They want to be in the different build battles. And it looks like AJ went down, but Nexus was there to support him. And once again, Snappy and Lamani end up going down again, meaning that the rest of this Wolves team is going to have to find their solution. And maybe, just maybe, the xGODS have found their first win of the day. They just need to close it out, taking out these last 3 players.
Ooh. Big damage. Big damage.
He knows he immediately dropped off. I said, I'm not doing this no more. I'm not playing. I don't want to engage, but now being willing to trade back. But it looks like Sin, the rookie, continues to impress. Finding his opportunity, another 131 hit on to one of his opponents, and the opponent's not even being able to easily move. And I have to believe that, once again, this player's trying to survive, and as the zone pushes in, Sin's finally going to be pushed off this high ground, having to rotate, chooses to rotate down, now push into the middle of the ground. I think this is ultimately the reason why a lot of teams play for mid control. Is they don't want to be forced to move as often.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you have a sniper, sure. Like, I can agree with that.
Yeah, but you know, most people aren't thinking that far. They're just like, I just want to be in the middle of the game. And I'm like, well, if you're in the middle of three snipers looking at you. You're in the middle of three snipers looking at you, asking to die
Exactly.
in that moment.
And especially like because of there's so much build destruction in the game. Like it's so easy just to tear down whatever you're trying to build in the center as well.
Now you can see he's looking around, trying to find out where his opponents might be. Find some more shots while keeping himself safe. And it looks like an immediate call out. Shout out to Snappy. He's been doing a great job this game. I feel like I've heard him constantly being super vocal with this game.
Yeah.
Even in the games he's not in, Midnight Ghost Hunt was a great example where they got an advantage and he was just like, we don't need to push the pace. We don't need to do anything extra. We just need to hold out. Where the hunters, they're all low. We can just wait out time. And I think that is the voice that I'm looking from a lot of players, especially the experienced ones, to, maybe some of these not bad players, but less experienced players, just to keep them calm. And they finally have done it. The xGODS go up to 10 points and most importantly do it off of the back of a shooter. And FC coming up next, and I think the matchup everyone's asking for is Exile and Nexus going.
Exile and Nexus?
We got to at least see the two of them go in.
So, I mean, not only is it Exile and Nexus, though, but is it... I can't remember if it's Kenny or Kevin, because I'm pretty sure it's one of them that's like pretty solid at FC as well, and they're with Aspect, right? Like, so like they have like they both played the game heavy, right? So like
that
they gotta
really interesting. Ooh, I love that insight. Yeah, now because that's something that you and I both know, that specifically Aspect, looking at that tier 3 on the xGODS.
Yeah,
a lot of people are like, oh yeah, he plays fighting strategy games, and then it pretend like he isn't incredible, and especially FC. Yeah. FC, he knows FC.
So when Adam first joined the league, like he joined when I joined, and like we was on the same team. I'm sorry, Aspect. Sorry, I know him by Adam. I'm sorry, Aspect. When Aspect joined the league, he was really good at FC, but he just never got to go in for the game. So everybody thought that he was like really bad at it. It's just why like they felt like we were trying to avoid putting him in. It was just like, no, every time it rolled, he would literally have just played in a game and it was never available. And that was for like 2 seasons that happened. I think one game out of 2 seasons he got to play.
I remember because I think it was one of those that it might have been that game where FC and a lot of the sports games are where you're quickly able to tell people that are like, okay, I learned the basics, and then people that know how to play the game.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and he's like, he's not moving like he doesn't know how to play FC. In fact, he looks like he wants and is taking over the entire game.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get a chance to see him. And again, Nexus never disappoints when it comes to FC in these sports games. And I know he and Exile have a running to the banter. And if Kenny is the one of the twins that is the big FIFA player, that would be big as well. Might actually get a really good game of FIFA, which we don't always see.
Yeah. I would assume that for the xGODS, it's probably going to be Nexus and Aspect going in, and then maybe Gurins and Kenny for the Wolves.
Gurins and Kenny, we'll see. It is Gurins and Exile, actually, and AJ and Nexus. Maybe my one guess here is wanting, and you asked for Forza, you ended up getting it. We're going to go ahead and jump into that after this, but maybe wanting to hold Aspect. I think that's the funny thing is, even in opportunities where you could send him in here, his fighting game ability, his strategy game ability, his general just all-aroundness as an endgamer, you tend to hold him. Now, I think the xGODS have the ability to hold almost anybody they want at any time. And we see
AJ and
kills.
Nexus are just cooking them right now. Like they are moving that ball like like they sliding on ice. They're just skating around them.
That is the thing that I will tell anybody. If you're at home wondering how to tell which team is which, Dark Blue is going to go ahead and be the Wolves. The white jerseys are going to be the xGODS, if you didn't already catch on to that. But also, watch the passing. Passing is a telltale sign of a good FC player. Now, we see some of the tricks coming out of the Wolves. They're trying to get something started here. But as they lose the ball here, I have to believe they're going to look for another play. A fake pass here into just more ball movement, a shot. The defender ends up picking up the ball and kicking it back forward without stepping across the halfway line.
So, the control.
And they finally lost the ball.
He's tripping him. That's a foul.
Where's the
foul?
I don't even want to talk about fouls in this game. Sometimes you'll just like run into somebody and the game's like, that's a foul. But the moment someone like kicks you in the head, it's like, oh, it's you're fine. Get up and keep playing.
Yeah.
The game.
Like literally during practice, what was it, last week, I think? I ended up doing a rainbow and kicking the other player in the head. And they're just like, nah, it's okay.
Yeah, you're
just
okay.
Keep going. You got a point. Good job.
I like the willingness as well now from the xGODS. They have a lead, but in that same realm, when they were getting pressured, they didn't keep trying to go forward. They were willing to just bring the ball back, reset, try to look for another play. And now we see the defense starting to step up, it looks like, from the side of the Wolves. Maybe just needed a second to get comfortable, and this, I have to believe, is a goal.
Okay. The Wolves have a point on the board.
And that's what matters.
Yep.
We do, in this game mode now, play a little bit different. Similar to a game like NHL, it is 1/2 or first to 5.
Yeah.
So that had changed, I think, the dynamic. There were a lot of teams that played, I think, cautious and safer.
Yeah.
And now you kind of just want your best player to go in and take over the entire game as quickly as possible so that you can control the game that way. And this is another goal, putting them up to 4. And they're on their last legs. I have to believe that the xGODS might find another win here.
Yeah. And I feel, so I'm not sure who's who, like outside of the teams, but I feel like that's mostly Nexus that is just challenging Exile. Just for the fact that there was a couple of times that I've seen where they could have played what's called Tiki Taki and just made an easy goal and just finished it up. But oh my God!
Yeah, Nexus ended the game in style. Nexus intentionally ended the game in style. He caught it, and the moment the defender stepped forward, he ended the game. You were talking, and I was just like sitting there watching. I'm like, they look like they're playing with their food, and they absolutely were. So now we're jumping into Forza as one of. I'll give you one of the best racers here in the league.
Okay.
How are you feeling about the meta as it's been for UEL this for Forza?
Within the racing game?
Yes, and more specifically Forza as well.
So, particularly, like for me, like when I came into UEL, I didn't play racing games like at all, and then I finally like 300 was like, yo, get on racers. I don't care. All of y'all need to play racers. And it was like, okay, well, I was the only one that did it.
Yeah.
So I was the only one that got on racers. And I don't know. I said, wait, like, I was just like, man, I hate this. And then I played F1 and I fell in love with the game. And so I just started grinding and learning. And then like, I noticed like how much of that translated to the other racers. And then, so at first I was like, okay, I love these, like the rules, everything, you know what I mean? It's cool. And now it's like, we got one lap CTR or one map CTR. Like, why don't we have a cup now? And it's like, which I mean, I get it, like, you know, because we're trying to get through as many games as possible, right?
Yes,
is the goal, but
really test how well-rounded players are. I mean, you and I have talked about this, I think, before. There was definitely a strategy in previous seasons of, if I can limit the number of games I play, and just the wheel spins right enough, you can beat a team. Whereas I think a lot of the veterans like yourself and other players were like, well, if you're good at all 33, it doesn't matter. The wheel will majority go to you.
Yeah.
Let's play as many games as we want.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, too, is like with a lot of people within UEL, is they're more worried about their games, like their primary games. It's like, yeah, you want your team to get better at those games, but like you can't solely focus on those games. Timeout xGODS as well coming in. So
both teams down to their final timeout.
Yep. And so, hey, all right. So this is my thing with Forza. All right. So this makes me mad. Like every time I see this, I never get mattered. When you come in before the game, set the rules up for Forza. That's the first thing I do. As soon as I come back, I'll sign. I don't even sign into an account. I just, because it's done through the Game Pass, right? For Forza, and like literally load the game up, make the rules, and save the rules. A free tip.
Side note: the
first
reason
thing you do.
I want to highlight why he says to do that every time you come in. Forza has a history of, if patches come in, your rule set that you saved will completely change. So doing it the day of is the safest way to do it. And I'm happy that, because like it's one of those things that you get in and then people are like, wow, I have, in this case, if you're going from FC to Forza, you have 2 minutes to get 5 PCs in and make sure those rules are set up if you haven't just done your due diligence ahead of time.
100%. It's something simple, and it could have saved the xGODS the timeout right here. Like realistically, it takes, what, 5 minutes to do? Like at a casual pace.
At the end of the day, AJ and Nexus were playing. Other 4 players get 5 PCs up. One of them set up a lobby. One of them, like you said, already have that rule set going. Cool. Hey,
actually,
who
you
needs
know what?
invite?
Hang on. No, hang on. No. I'm actually mad now because they was just playing a console game.
Yes.
What? So like that game was what?
See?
6 minutes?
Look, this is something me and you, I think, also get of like that time where it's like, cool, I'm kind of like keeping an eye on everybody.
Yeah.
Wait, I got to go in for this game. Let me go do this thing. And you turn and it's like, oh, that game's not set up.
Yeah.
We just were playing, whether it's FC or any console game, gauntlet game right there. Like, there's no reason. There's one thing if we're playing, midnight, and only one PC can get up. Cool.
Yeah.
You couldn't do anything else, but here you have to be looking at it and saying, I'm like, X-Ray, Havoc, Electric. Sin's a rookie.
Yeah.
And by this point, look, you're 5 games in. I'm not going to give you that pass anymore. Y'all have to be willing to do it. And it looks like they really only need, they needed extra.
Yeah, I mean, we're halfway through the season. So there's no excuse.
Yeah, you have to just be on top of it because not everybody's ever going to always be available.
Yep.
I think the other notorious game like this is F1.
Yeah.
F1 is a game that most people have like, oh, I know like 1 or 2 people on the team that know how to set it up.
Yeah.
And it's
So
like, oh,
the
are they
craziest thing is like, no, it remembers the rules. So it's like, realistically, you don't even have to set it up. But like, you always check though,
But that's
because
it goes back to walk in this building.
Yeah.
You can pull the book up and just sit down and be like, FC really quickly. Oh, well, I helped them with Forza.
Yeah.
Well, if they take the time to look at it, and now we're looking at Exile here on, I'm not sure which car, but starting on Hakone as a map. Hakone's been really popular this season.
Yeah.
So
How do you feel about
Hakone's what we've been playing. Just like it's one of the first maps we practiced. Like I would say now though, we probably got maybe 10 maps in our bag.
Oh, nice.
So it's just kind of what we're feeling for the day, on what we want to play. And I'm really excited about this because I know Adam or Aspect. Sorry guys. Sorry.
Yeah,
Aspect.
No, you're good.
Is gotten pretty good at Forza. I think Sin is also really good at Forza, and I know Andy or Snappy from the Wolf side is also really good at Forza. Because to be honest, when I was over there with them, Snappy was my biggest contender on Forza.
Oh, that's
Yes.
good to know. Right now, it might look like the xGODS they'll have their number because these top 2 spots at the very least, top 2 or 3, all seem to be Wolves players. With Pt.3 being out in the front, and then we're watching Electric here, close behind in that second place spot. So it looks like they're going to finish their lap with about a minute 5-second time.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of these F1 cars, and there's been a lot of talk about it because if you run off track, obviously they're really hard to get back into position.
Yeah.
Do you like the idea of putting your experienced racers on these F1 cars and giving them the opportunity just to race through? And you mentioned him and call his name. He's right here behind our leading players.
Yep.
One mistake away, obviously, from overtaking and being right there at the front of the race for his team.
Yeah. So I think on games like this, just in general, right? 7-11. So 4-point difference.
Mm-hmm.
You have to win this. It's half. There's not many games left. Like from my point of view, for the Wolves, I don't think they have really many games left that are more favored towards them. Which I mean, anything can happen, but realistically, I wouldn't I wouldn't risk not full send ever. If I'm down by 4 or 5 points, every game full send. Even if I have to break anchor sometimes, that. Yeah, 100%. I'm going in, right?
Yeah.
And it's too valuable.
UEL is a game that I think is underrated. 4 is about what I call 4 games in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Counting setups is already really hard to do, and you're asking for basically perfect lineups, perfectly everything rolling exactly the way you would run it to.
Yeah,
I agree with you. You have to just play the game in front of you, and it looks like the xGODS managed to win. I think everybody finished there, but we saw at least 3 of the xGODS there in the top 3 spots, followed shortly behind by a couple of Wolves. But if that is the split, you can pretty easily, as long as everybody finishes, call that game. That is something that I think is another benefit of Hakone.
Yeah.
It's a safer map. We've seen a lot of DNFs this season.
Yeah.
And that be the deciding factor for the game. And that final shooter did actually roll. Exile the only player. I say luckily because I think Exile is not one of the primary shooters inside of the Wolves. They have the lineup. And funnily enough, I know, congratulations on y'all winning
I appreciate
finals. I've obviously watched y'all.
broke the streak.
y'all have historically, for those that don't know, Click went up in so many finals games, and every single time it was that last push. So in general, this has probably been one of the more competitive, and I think players have enjoyed this shooter on the wheel
the
this
game
season.
of shame. Yeah, like that's a tough game. It's like I'm curious what they're gonna go though. I have because it's the Wolf setup, right?
Yes.
I don't think they're gonna do power shift.
So that's what was really interesting to me is we started off the season, and 10 of the 12 teams, almost everybody was like, we're playing power shift. I'm just playing this game mode.
Yeah.
And now that we're reaching this halfway mark, everyone's like, maybe terminal attack is how we actually want to turn this into more of a Valorant style tactical shooter, slow down the pace.
Well,
like
you know what game mode I haven't seen?
Hmm.
The cash grab, baby.
I think that similar to Fortnite, no team wants to deal with that 3-2 setup where you need to keep track.
Just imagine the team that like gets it down.
Oh,
immediate, like sky high advantage, right?
And that's the team. Funny enough, like I look at these players, some of your former teammates, some of your former competitors. We both know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call you back to Star Wars Battlefront. How everyone knew that New Moon was picking Squadron Fighter. Everyone else is like boots on the ground. We're gonna fight. We're gonna shoot each other, and they're like, shit battle. We're not even gonna entertain this. And everyone in the league was like, I guess I have to get good at this mode now, purely for the sake of if they have setup, they will control exactly where we end up going. In the finals, I don't want to ask you specifically, obviously, for your team, but you personally, do you have a preference of cash grab as your favorite mode?
I don't care. Like, honestly, it's like, for me, like, I'm adaptable. So whatever's more beneficial for the team and at the time or in who's in is, like, generally, like, what we'll do. So it's not like, we go into it with game plans, but we don't have anything like set in stone because like in the middle of a game, it sounds good. It's like, we're gonna do this, and it's like, or you know, we're gonna do this map on Dead by Daylight, and then it's like, okay, well the two best players aren't in. Do we still do this map because it's a technical map, or you know, like, or just to run it even Dead by Daylight, right? Or F1, right?
I think that there's a ton of saying about it, but a lot of them amount to, and I think the simplest one that my parents always say.
CTR is the best thing. The CTR is the best example, right?
I think CTR is so interesting now, especially because if you pick the same map, the good players watch VODs, we pay attention. I'm gonna know what your map is. If you're just good at CTR, you can always be like, I'm better than this other person across from me. I'm just picking the map that I like for a fact. I'll pick a map I'm comfortable on that is hard, and you're not going to be able to beat me.
I mean, that's the thing, though. It's like, I think a lot of people are, like, nervous, like, oh, yeah, but if we pick our maps now, then we're going to show our hand during the playoffs. It's like, that doesn't matter. Like, if it's your map, then it's your map. Why are you letting them take your map? Like it shouldn't be that way, right? Like, realistically, it shouldn't be that. Yeah, you can practice on it, but, like, you're not beating me on Japan in F1. Like, Jury did one time, but he didn't, like, he didn't beat me. I wrecked myself because, you know, like, I'm an idiot, but it happens.
I agree. Like, and this game is close. What I was mentioning, by the way, for people at home, there's a saying called, basically, everyone has a plan until they get hit in the face. Like, you have to be ready for the unexpected. It's going to happen. You know exactly what's going to, like, be before you. And trust me, I know between the two of us, especially in my rookies, the amount of, like, preparation was there, but I think we're going to take a look at the tier ones to see how much each one of these players prepared for this matchup. And Snappy was looking good at the 5-0 for a good time. AJ was struggling for a little bit. He had a little bit of an early lead, but now it looks like AJ is currently taking the lead in this game. Snappy really finding all of his wins, honestly, from that shooting category. We can take a look at the T2s as well. Usually T1s and T2s are like reflections of each other, unless there's a dynamic difference, and you see it here. 4-4, similar to his T1. Doomsday doing a lot of work there in those shooters, but the xGODS have found this 5-point lead across the entirety of the wheel, now being able to take their first shooter in Fortnite, and hopefully, I think they're hoping to be able to take
and actually, you know what's crazy? Now that I think about it, Doom and Andy, like, basically have the same coverage. Sorry, Doom and Snappy.
So so for those that don't know, I'll give a little bit of background. Former teammate of Snappy, Doomsday, AJ, Nexus, Aspect, and Electric.
Yep.
So obviously, a lot of the names are thrown around, and you know them on a different level than some of us here. And so it's really funny because you're like,
it's a force of habit. I can't help it. It's a habit.
It's something that's also nice to see, right? Like a lot of us are used to being gaming and being online, but when you step out of that realm, we're like, okay, cool. Oh yeah. First name basis ends up.
That was the biggest struggle when I would join their team. Like that was the biggest struggle.
Everyone called each other by their first name.
And I'm like, it was like it was like, hey Adam, over here. I'm like, who's what? It's like how to okay, where's over here? Like
who are you talking? And especially like in a game sense, because I'm so used to people just being like, hey, chicken, and you're like, what? And if someone calls you by your name, you're like.
Yeah, that's why I could never be on a teammate with Dictator Chicken because it's like every time someone says chicken, like we're both gonna be like, which chicken?
By the way, that is the casting. Us casters have an inside theory that chicken in your name automatically makes you top 5 in Lumina Rush.
Yeah,
just guaranteed. I don't know how y'all do it. Y'all play that game. It's still on the wheel.
Yeah,
and I would love to be able to hear your insight into that game because the times that y'all have, I'm always like, there's some little trick. I told even Dictator that. I was like, came in here one day and watched them. I'm like, oh, so that's how you skip that entire section of the map.
Well, so like sometimes it's like I would say the biggest thing is like there's a lot of tech in that game that people don't know, and there's also a technical timeout coming. I'm guessing there's probably an issue with the finals at the moment, but or maybe the game's crashing, something of that nature. But that'll be sorted out shortly. But for Lumina Rush though, there's a lot of tech that is basically just like me and like Corgi and Logic. There's a guy named Logic Newt, right? Like they're like Logic Newt and Corgi are like the best 2 players in the game, and like so I started like getting with them and like just playing just in general, and like once I got like a lot of the basics down, then like we all started finding our own ways to be unique in the game. And we started finding different tech, like all right. Here's a freebie for those who don't know, right? So for double jump, right? If you press X twice, right? Like say you're just casually double jumping, like doo, right? Then it's kind of a low jump. But if you do it like super fast, like doo, like just super fast, you get like an insanely high jump. And yeah, it's just like small things like that, like it, like. Go super far,
and that's how you start to see these times creep down. Time and time again. And now we're going to be hopefully getting into the finals. And after this, as long as he's available, I know the Wolves are happy to see Dragon Ball Fighters go ahead and run in. If there is a game that I'm going to give the way of the Wolves by default, Gurns is available. He knows his fighters. It plays, and you thought they might not play it, but it looks like Power Shift ended up being the selection. And if we see Power Shift, there's I'll say 4 out of 5 times in this game, we're going to see Monaco as the map being selected. Any particular reason that you think people play Monaco?
I think it's just mainly it's easier to stay on high ground within Monaco, and it's more open.
Your name's wrong,
and
bro.
The Wolf forfeit?
So,
what happened?
They did not correctly change their display names or inform the game master ahead of time of the fact they're being charged a delay of game. They're out of timeouts, which turns the game into a forfeit. This
no.
I know. No! I know how you feel.
This would have been one of the best games of the finals.
It was why earlier today when the xGODS forfeited Overwatch, I got so mad. I'm like, I know both of y'all play Overwatch. This would have been such an amazing game. Just let me see it. Just let me watch the game get played. I was so excited. We were talking about him. Now we're going to be able to get go ahead and see him. He is available for the likes of Dragon Ball Fighters. Gurin's going ahead and pulling up here. It's been talked about, I know in the chat, it's been talked about by us on broadcast a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you think Pip-Boy's presence in this game would have shifted?
100%.
If they're playing this point, 100%. Obviously, you know, there's the point of Tekken, there's the point of Street Fighter, right?
So, like, but that's the thing, though. It's like not only Pip-Boy, right? But it would have been also Hataj, because he's not here either, and he's the best shooter on the xGODS.
I would normally say that's salacious, but I think Hazaj has the best record of anybody in the league currently, sitting at some like insane number. I think he has sub 10 losses, but like a ridiculous
that's
number
insane,
of wins.
actually. That's like Ricky numbers.
Yeah, no, he legitimately, you know, some of the casters we were looking through stats and we were like, wait, a rookie is sitting at the top of like the overall record for the entirety of the league.
Yeah.
And Hazaj is like doing it casually.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool, put me in for a shooter. I win. I diff every single time.
Yeah, no, Hazaj is definitely good. Like, we scrimmed against him at the beginning of the season. But I think it was even before there was even a single game.
Oh,
I think. I can't remember. It might have been after, like, the first week or during the first week. I don't remember exactly, but they are definitely tough. They're definitely a tough shooter team.
At 4-0, I mean, they're one of those teams I think that they've looked very good, but every single one of the teams have managed to climb their way up. I think the standings don't speak enough to the strength of these teams now that we're reaching this halfway mark.
Yeah.
Our standings are starting to show that there are teams, even like you recently played the Cyclones.
Yeah.
And, you know, the Wolves here in their game against the Bots last week, now their game against the xGODS. I think there were a lot of people that counted some of the bottom of the table teams out. Progress, from my perspective, has been better between even the bottom tier teams.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, y'all are getting better. You're picking up. You're not going through, you know, 80% of the season being like, I don't know how to play CTR at all.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, cool. We need to get on this right now.
Yeah.
We need someone that at least knows how to play.
Yeah.
And obviously we saw the upset this week of the Blaze over the Ravens. Some would say it is an upset. Some would say it isn't.
Honestly, I didn't know who was going to win that match. Okay, like Hollywood he's really good, and he's able to put a team on his back and carry him, or carry them, and like especially if it's because like right now he's got like a bunch of rookies, right, except for Garto, and yeah, I mean they're just doing phenomenal right now, like realistically, for a team that's nothing but rookies basically coming in. I would say the Blaze are doing far better than expected.
So I'm going to give you the hard question then for both conferences. What are playoffs? If playoffs happen today, what 3 teams from each conference do you think, regardless of record, would be the 3 best teams from each side?
Regardless of record?
Yes. Because I think that's something.
Honestly, like even you got to kind of incorporate the record though. Like,
I understand.
Okay. Forfeit Wolves.
And this is where when it rains,
no timeouts.
It pours. We've seen this already happen this week at the top of the week, that when you run out of these timeouts, one slip up can start a tumble situation.
Yeah. Actually, same game yesterday. We got Need for Speed coming up next.
Hey.
This is going to be a good one.
Okay.
But same situation yesterday on DBZ is like it was my fault because because it rolled immediately after half, and or after the first game of the half, and I couldn't find the converter for my controller, and I had no idea where it was, and I found it like it was like 10 seconds before, and like I was trying to get into the lobby, so forth, and like
we both know the moment you do that is the time that Dragon Ball FighterZ says, I'm going to give you like a 5-minute load time. Oh wait, you went to the wrong lobby. Now you're gonna take another like 5 minutes to load out.
Yeah. If that game rolls and you're going like from like PC to PC, so you get that 4-minute setup time,
it's doable.
Then expect to use a timeout, or expect a timeout to be called. That I would say that's the #1 game where timeouts are used the most.
In DBZ, probably. I
can't think of a game where it's not called.
There's some
unless it rolls as the game the game right after half, so you have 15 minutes to set it up. You know,
I think funnily enough, like timeouts aren't used enough actually on Dead by Daylight, because I think that because good players know their builds, right? On the other side, not good players, bad players at the end of the day don't know the perks well enough, first of all, to find them quickly.
Yeah.
Even if they're written down, if I'm like, oh yeah, distortion.
So, well, what I do personally is, if we're survivors, right, then like my build is already there. I don't have to set anything up because I've got everything unlocked on just on the account, right? Yeah. But if it's a teammate that isn't like the most proficient in the game and they don't have everything unlocked, I just go over there and do it for them. That way they don't have to search. They don't have to remember the names of the perks. They know what the perks do, but they don't want to hunt them down. You know,
That's
so
some good
I'll do it
preparation.
for them so we can save that time out for games like DBZ.
Yeah, because no, DBZ's, there's legitimately some games that are not in your control like DBZ, especially now. Fun fact for those at home, the name change rule does apply to DBZ.
Yep.
If you change your name, it kicks you back out to the start screen, and you have to start all the way over again. So sometimes just being willing to be like, all right, spend the time, doing the fundamental.
Or just take 2 seconds and tell the game master. Not even 2 seconds. Like, hey, game master, he's appearing as this.
Yeah.
Not even 2 seconds. You could set up while telling him.
That's crazy that Forza.
Yep.
Forza, like, you said Forza was a must-win, and now that gap of what was 4, because remember, if Forza was 4, it was 7-11 going into Forza. It's now 7-14. They've now 3 more games, obviously due to forfeits.
Yeah.
How would you, if you were leading this Wolves team, stop the fall? At least right now. What is your kind of call to action? Obviously, in halftime, I think Global spoke to it well after y'all's game, where he was like, we acted as though we're down by 10 points.
Yeah.
We have to stay locked in.
Yeah.
But in this moment in the game where you have a minute before you have to be in this Need for Speed game.
Yeah. I would say the biggest thing is you got 4 minutes. You had one goof. Don't let it happen again. Like, I think that's something else that happens is people stay too caught up on what's already happened instead of just moving on. And it's like, oh, well, that sucks. We lost the forfeit, but all right, let's set this up. All right, y'all stop talking about last game. It's whatever, like things happen, whatever. Just set up. I don't care. Like you want to yap? Yap after the game. I'll ears open. I'll listen to everything. But right now, I need you setting this game up.
Right now, the Wolves I know are doing exactly that. They're saying we need people going here.
Yeah.
What cars are we playing?
Yeah.
Even now with the roster being open for Need for Speed.
Yeah.
I would expect that caught me up in our last game.
Yeah.
Because we did everything, we got everybody in, and then they went, we want this class of car. I clicked on my account, and it wasn't an unlocked option there.
Yeah.
On the base account that we had here, and I was like, I have to do this on another PC. It's not that I don't even have a car. I can't set the lobby up correctly on my PC.
Yeah. And
now, again, if you have a timeout, cool, that's fine. But here, you're not able to do this. Roller Champions. Another thing, all your games are starting to roll. I think you're
this is good. Hey, this is going to be great because both teams are bad at this.
Oh, no. Every word in the sentence, I was like, both teams are. I say that some of the best fighting games in this league have been that as well. Two people that do not know but are committing. I don't know if you were watching Street Fighter earlier.
Yeah.
There was a moment where it looked StarCraft APM levels of buttons being hit.
Yeah.
Just somebody trying to get a hit in. So let the people at home know. What is Need for Speed? How do we play it? What's the mode? What are key things that you look for?
Wait, within what?
Within Need for Speed. So
Need for Speed?
Yeah.
Basically it's like who's out of position. Like so if I'm a cop, right? Then if someone's by themselves or it's a weaker player, I'm just gonna like bust them, and then I'll catch back up to them afterwards. I'm just gonna go ahead and get them out, just to make it easier on the team. That's less utility. That means that's less damage coming to the cops, right? Because if you're getting EMP'd or someone's trying to float behind, then you need a teammate taking care of that person. Just because it's free damage, right? Like the racers get free damage. And I look, a lot of people might not believe it, but racers are the better option here. It might not seem like it, but racers are always the better option.
I think, funnily enough, if you're coordinated, it's one of those things that there's a lot of benefit here. I like this little small. It's a very small thing. We don't see a lot of teams, except if they're coordinated, do this.
Yeah.
Where you let the most wanted slipstream off of you continue to get speed, continue to boost forward. AJ Little Blue, young Jack Harlow here, trying to escape the police officers. And right now, all of his team is around. I think the strategy you spoke to has one key importance. You have to have and be in a position where your teammates will keep up with the most wanted to give you time to get back. Too often, I think we see the problem with the cops in this game is one cop falls back, two cops fall back. Now one person is fighting 2 or 3 people by themselves.
Yeah.
And all of that utility just gets dumped on that one person.
Well, hey, you know what? If that happens, and if I'm cops and everybody else is falling back,
Hey, that just leaves me in the most wanted. Hey, let's get it. Let's get it.
You want
Like,
the
'cause
one-
I know I can I know I can beat one person. I can't guarantee that I can beat all 4 of them.
Well, now we have to see the cops a little bit of friendly fire running to each other. Luckily, they have eyesight through that jam on the most wanted. As we fly down the highway, don't adjust your TV sets. This is not I-95, north or south.
Hey, you know what? There's no way this is I-95 because there would be a lot more cars on the road. Okay. All right. So if you've never been on 95, it is the worst highway in America.
Oh, I think that was legitimately reported this year that we have the worst highway
Yes.
in the entire country. And now the pedestrians come in here, and we see Doomsday trying his way just to work between his teammates to keep line of sight, but he has to watch out for some of the utility, manages to slip by his teammate. And now 2 of these officers have caught back up for the most wanted, as we see Sin starting to lock on.
Oh,
with an
yeah.
EMP.
See, look, that's a free EMP. What you going to do? You going to slow down? Cool. I can slow down too. But he didn't have to, right? Now, what is it? It's a 2-on-1. So, like, now the other racer's going to get a free EMP here if he hasn't already used it.
And there we go. And you called it out, and immediately using it and then taking the shortcut, meaning that he cannot chase. And now they just get more and more space to work with. Doesn't mean the game is over just yet, but I'm loving the play that I'm seeing out of the xGODS. The coordination of just, hey, we're going to punish those little mistakes that they're making. It's not anything glaring coming out of the side of the Wolves that's causing these problems, but it's the situation like right here where he's just trying to crash them out. Well, you have 2 other teammates here that immediately get between you and him.
This fight coming out of the most wanted. This is not looking good for the most wanted.
One of the cops, 2 of the cops are already out of the race, though.
Oh. Well, okay, I did not notice that
literally a second one just dropped out. So we're at the point now where they're at the edge of the circle. If they get out of the circle in the left-hand side of your screen, everybody at home, they will begin cooldown. They didn't have to stay out of that circle for around 25, 30 seconds, and they win the game. So right now, all of these Wolves players, specifically the last 2 cops, are just trying to stay in range.
Honestly, one of the cops is like super far behind. So honestly, you get the spike on this cop right here, you get out of the range and turbo and SGGs unless you get one of those, windy roads where,
Don't you love those roads as well, where the game just decides that this is where hitting cooldown, electric, slowing down, looking to deal with this other officer, letting himself fall behind and looking for an EMP. Fortunately, I think the slowing down might have kept him out of range to be able to speed up, to keep up, to lock it on. But you mentioned it, I think AJ's gone at this point. 10 seconds left on the clock. On those windy roads when you're just trying to stay out. And the game was like, what if I spawn multiple lines of pedestrian vehicles on the road and you're like, I'm going to hit something here. Not a car, even if it's the wall. But the xGODS managed to get out, and this is where that lead is starting to widen. I think the xGODS, notably, them and the Reapers, I think their wins so far have come from cleanliness out of game in terms of setups, or really, we funnily enough watched episode 2 of the Reapers season, and they're kind of like playing the rule to the letter, and ensuring that they're never in a position where they don't have the resources to.
They're never in the DBZ position.
Where
they
that
have
DBZ,
to force,
because
to
be honest, I think those are the most tilting losses. It is not the loss of a game that was super close. Where you look across and be like, man, we're both good. They just played better.
Example of us versus y'all, right? Sky, Sky messed the lineup up 3 times,
and I know that because you looked at me every single time. The moment he looked at me and was like, blah, 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 you just saw me look at your lineup, and I'm like, yeah, they're sitting. I'm not. The moment DVD rolled, I was like, killer, you're not in the game anymore. The moment StarCraft rolled, Mr. OG, go ahead and step on out, just in case.
Hey, you tried that with the Global, though, in
Street Fighter? No, y'all came out. Y'all came out and played. I got to give y'all credit.
Him cooked on that one.
Bro, and that's what I'm loving about the league. Like, players across the board. You know how hard of a decision it is against y'all, the xGODS. Even in, like, if I see a shooter roll and I'm playing this Wolves team and I'm like, who do I want to sit? Okay, so I have to pick between.
I gotta play for next game. I can't
exactly.
This game.
I'm like, what's next on the? Okay, cool. FC. Okay, maybe I don't want Exile playing. Go ahead, Exile. Going for this. cool, and now I can get away with it. And
Yeah.
it's becoming, I think, a lot more strategic, whereas before,
I think more teams are starting to get that way too. So it's like it's becoming a little bit harder. So that ruling is there, but I think it only affects certain teams on certain games.
I also think it'll change because y'all do it. A lot of teams are moving to having their GM/coach
Yeah.
be a non-player.
Yeah.
Somebody that isn't focused on going and playing the game, but the bigger picture of
Yeah.
UEL, the lineups, all
Yeah.
of that. Ends up being heavy here. So Exile has to go in. If you were the Wolves, you send in an Exile. And then you can do the same for the Exile.
Roller champs. I mean, there's an hour and a half left. I mean, it's still possible for the Wolves to come back. Actually, it's an hour and a half left. They're through a lot of games right now.
Oh, yeah.
For an hour and a half.
I think on average, we're about at a 24 games per match or so.
Yeah.
24 to.
Yeah, they're
on
right
pace
there
to
at
hit
the
30.
threshold. They're on pace to hit everything.
Because, and that's something that I know, people are happy. And for this Wolves team, it bodes well because if you can do what you did in shooters here, there's not necessarily as good of fighting teams. There's not as good as racing teams.
Yeah.
You can maybe exploit these other holes to take a win. I think this xGODS team is right now just in a position where it's hard to expect them. So AJ Low, Blue Nexus, two sports players going in with Electric up against X-Ray Kevin, as well as the rookie Leman.
If I had to guess, I think xGODS are going to take this
xGODS?
one. Just for the fact, I feel like out of everybody,
Mhm.
I feel like they're the only ones that really touched the game. I think Kevin did when he was on the Gorillas last season. I think he touched it a little bit. Exile, I have no idea. And Lemony, I don't know. I haven't seen him. Is this his first game?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is one of the rookies they drafted. He's been pretty frequent in the Discord. He streams pretty regularly.
Okay.
But today should be his first game of the season.
Yeah.
Coming in, and I think in the shooting games, I've been impressed. I don't know his coverage otherwise. I think that this is one of those situations where, because they had the previous rookie that were playing Punisher, he's now over on the Ravens. Time runs out. I hear forfeit Wolves, and this is legitimately the issue
This is
because
the tower crumbling.
no timeouts. The game becomes wider not because they're doing something right now wrong, but just that fundamentally you don't have time. C tier rolls, Havoc tier face, X-ray
Ooh.
aspect.
But no, so this is actually really good for the Wolves, though, right? Because it's Aspect and Havoc available that have to go in for CTR.
Yeah.
So I know Aspect's not terrible when it comes to the game. I know he hates it, but he's not terrible at it. Havoc, I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever really paid attention to Havoc in CTR, but he is pretty solid in racers.
We
as a
both
whole,
know
So
Havoc is that person that's it's on the wheel. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna know how to compete, but I'm not necessarily gonna be beating the top players in every game.
Yeah.
Famously, I know F1. The entire season is hey, checking. I want to play F1. So and you were like, okay, come on, bring it on.
Yeah.
On the other side, coming from New Moon, I look at both Snappy and Doomsday.
Yeah.
Whether it's you, whether it's Jury, there was a lot of talent in CTR over there. Do they
I
have
think
experience?
Gurins is pretty okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
I don't think Gurins is terrible. So if I had to guess, I would say it's probably going to be Gurins and Snappy going in.
Is this going to be a Chris G situation where Chris G won a cup by just driving straight? That was the funniest thing.
No. Aspect is better than that.
Okay.
There's no way. I don't. I don't know how that's even possible to happen to begin with. But hey,
well,
if it works, it works.
I think it's one of those things of when people get to a certain level, you're trying stuff, not realizing that if you just stay on course and just drive a semi-normal race, the other person isn't keeping up with your boots to begin with in something like CTR. CTR is an interesting game, especially now, like you mentioned, it's 1v1. I think it gives favor to whoever has setup because you should have home field advantage. You should be able to pick the map that you want to play.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen the Wolves. Now, we have people in the league that are like, yo, CTR doesn't take that long to set up.
Yeah.
We both know this. There are people that have never looked at some games on this wheel. they don't know what the main menu looks like, let alone where and what to set.
Yeah.
And CTR does have one deceptive one, which I think they've changed it for this season. Previously, you remember it used to say hard or no AI, and you had to know like no AI is the setting that you put it on. If you put it on anything else, you're going to end up with these extra players.
Yeah. But even if it was on hard and you had 4 players in, it didn't change.
Oh, did not? I know. I think one time I lost a timeout because.
But like realistically, it doesn't change it because there's a max of 4 players that can play. Right?
Oh, I didn't realize that. See, you can tell I don't have. I'll be the very first person to be like, I know the controls
for like local, anyways.
Yeah,
right.
Local, as long as you're on the correct multiplayer.
Yeah,
you're not going to end yourself up in a bad situation. So CTR, it is a kart race. I know a lot of people at home may be familiar with Mario Kart. CTR is more involved mechanically, I feel like, than Mario Kart.
Yeah.
The boost being one of the most notable. You have to control your slides a little bit more precisely and understand maps to maintain your boost as long as possible.
Yeah.
That's what separates, obviously, you, Jury, Hollywood.
Well, it's not maintaining the boost; it's maintaining the reserves. It's like the number one thing. It's like if you even if you mess up on like a boost, if your reserves are like kept well, then it doesn't matter.
And you get reserves by at least when you
hitting perfect boost pads, things like that will like extend your boost reserve, right? But the thing a lot of people don't know is like if you do air braking or U-turning, that eats away at your boost, right? Or your reserve. Sorry.
So it's this balancing act of you're trying to go as fast as possible, but knowing how and when to maybe burn some of that for like a specific turn on a map to like or save a little bit of time here, but still be able to get back into building that speed back up and never really running out of reserve. So that's what we see. We see players that a lot of times can get to their top speed, that blue flame speed, but then
maintaining it is the problem, right? And then I would say the timeout xGODS coming in as well. But just so you know, there is tech within CTR. I don't know. So I know there for a fact that there are some people in the league that know it, but there is tricks that you can do. I wouldn't necessarily.
He's not gonna give you everything. Look, you got to do some research on your own. All right? I'm not gonna press him for that at home. I'm not. He's a tier 1 for a reason. He has put the time and energy in. He's allowed to hold a few cards close to his chest just in case. So do your research.
Yeah. So basically, like you can save your reserve by pressing another button before air braking. So it does normally when you air brake, it's taking away from your reserve to maintain the boost. But if you hit a specific direction before you do it, it doesn't take away from your reserve.
A lot of knowledge being dropped here on the desk. I have to once again thank Chicken Tech for coming through and sharing it because at the end of the day,
all right, here we go. So I have to guess that is AJ. Top right. No. Oh, there goes a forfeit. Oh, it was incorrect setup.
I was literally gonna say you and I had a whole conversation, and you were like, "Well, telling me," and I looked at it and I went, he went to 8th place.
Yeah,
there is something not right with this setup. Blaze Blue CF coming up next. Doomsday. We've seen Doomsday going multiple times now on the 9, the Phantom.
Yeah.
The stylish 9, and I know Adam X-Ray Aspect wanted to play this today, so maybe we get a Blaze Blue game. It is the setup of the xGODS, so
I would say that I don't know if Gurens plays this.
It feels like it would be in his. It feels like it would be in his back. He tends to like the anime fighters, I think, a little bit more than the more traditional fighters. Now, it is pointed out we did hit that 17 mark. So now they're playing for pride more than anything, trying to get as many wins as possible on the board.
This might be the first 20-plus game.
Oh, yeah. I think one team might have hit 20, but nobody's crested it just
Really?
yet. I have to think who hit that 20 mark. A lot of teams have been pushing this season, though. And again, it goes back to the competitiveness of this season. That brings me – I realize we got away from it. So I'll give you not our conference, not the Northern Conference. 3 teams in the Southern Conference, if today you can take record into account.
Oh, yeah.
Based on how they look. Who do you think is the top 3 teams in that Southern Conference? as of today.
So Southern. Wait, am I? Are
Southern?
we
No,
Southern
no,
or
we're north.
Northern?
We're north.
We're Northern. Okay.
So
okay,
Southern
okay, okay.
is
So Southern, I would say
bots,
bots, xGODS.
and it's that third spot. So Ravens, Blaze, Cyclones, Shogun.
So I know a lot of people might not agree with this. People might actually like be mad at this, but I would say the Shogun.
So it's really interesting because
You give them more time, and they are going to be a good team.
yeah, if you look at where they started in their first game and
Yes.
the last game they played,
Yes.
I went, oh, this team is a problem.
Yeah.
This team, similar to this Wolves team. Like, you look at the first Wolves game
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, wow. You look at their game against the Ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, this team is shot for the season.
Yeah.
And the last two games they have played, I've become more and more impressed. And honestly, as someone in their conference,
Yeah.
more and more worried, like, oh, no, this team is a threat if you're not careful.
Yeah.
They will absolutely take your points, your games. But I want to take a look at the Tier 2s first this time. We're going to take a look at these different players and see where Doomsday now falls, where Nexus falls after that first matchup. I mean, Nexus is happy.
Yeah, Nexus. Yeah, he's chilling over there.
And as bad as it kind of looks, Doomsday,
yeah.
it's still looking fairly good. He's still, again, those shooters have helped him today.
Nah, I mean, look. The reason the xGODS are up is because Nexus crossed his fingers before the match. Like, I mean, you could see it in the profile right here, right?
Oh.
Like, look at him right here. Look, he crossing his fingers. He's like, "We got this."
Oh my
You know?
goodness, no!
That's exactly what's happening right
Okay.
here.
All right.
But so let's take a look at the tier ones real quick.
Okay.
Let's see where it's ending up
So,
now.
I have a tier 1 with me, so I
Okay.
can. So when you look at these records, what stands out to you? Maybe how you assess your own performance, what you're expected to do in a game.
All right, so I might be different than everybody else. I don't care about box scores. Like realistically, box scores are like, oh, okay, this person won. All right, well, MK rolled and I had Killer with me. Killer wins MK. No, he got carried in MK.
It doesn't tell the whole story, obviously.
No, but I mean, like, it doesn't tell the whole story. But like some things, it does matter in like shooters. I would say the only thing it really shows is consistency within certain games.
That makes a ton of sense. Because, like here, I started to say this last week, and I feel confident in saying it now, that this Wolves team is going to be built off of the back of their shooting games.
Yep.
That's going to be their core set of wins.
Yep.
They need to find, another category or two that they can pick up.
Yeah.
He's not here today, so I will still go ahead and call him out. Pip-Boy hasn't been in the normal form, and so fighters have also been a struggle for them this season. I think if Pip-Boy comes back and forth, between Pip-Boy and Gurns, I think you can take plenty of fighters off of plenty of teams.
Yeah.
And that puts you in a position now where, at least for 14 games on the wheel, you can try to be competitive.
Yeah.
And now you just pick one of those third categories to make yours. All right. So I think overall, though, I'm worried more than anything else about where Blaze Blue's going to go. I wonder what we're going to do here. So they did some Doomsday. Doomsday, I call Doomsday, by the way, my square warrior, by the way. Because if you watch every single fighting game. Oh, you got some news?
So I got some news.
Okay.
Adam said, I'm not accepting a forfeit from y'all in this game.
So
they are helping them set the game up right now.
So to inform y'all of what Chicken is referring to, they have now run out of timeouts and forfeits. What that means is the xGODS control the fate of this game. So we will take a moment
and control the fate of our thirst.
Ooh, I love this, man.
Control the fate of our thirst.
And we're going to send you over
your brand Sly.
And we're back. So in those moments, we hope you grabbed you a slide at home. Again, shout out to you. It's so fun to be on commentary. Just hang out. Because I'll be real with you. We both noticed, like, the last hour of a game, you're already mentally gassed from, like, really focusing and locking in. And in these situations, you're just like, okay, cool, let's get everything right.
Not if you're like me. I have no life. This is what I do. This is all I do. This is my life.
To be honest with you, I love you, chicken. But you be like, oh, let's play. I'll be like, bro, it is 4 o'clock in the morning.
I don't
Go
care.
to sleep,
Get on the game.
Wake up.
Get on the game.
And at like 8, you're still up. And I'm like, bro, what are you?
Get on the game.
Yes.
Practice time. I don't care. You've been up 32 hours. I don't care. It's practice time.
Yes. It's amazing. All right, so in this moment, I'm going to have to call one more person, and that is the SurfThing PCs, our official PC sponsor here in the UEL. Yeah. You need to find out and grab yourself one. I already promised Rex one, so get one yourself. We'll check out an ad here for them.
If he loses this now, I don't even know. All right, calm down, TOG. You just lost to him. Calm down. Stay focused, bro. Stay focused.
Going great on his trail. Right now, hunting down from the bandits. Oh, and there. And that one goes in there, taking this one away. It's 5-2. The first half is really starting to go their way.
Yes, it is. Yes, this could be a runaway.
So in that quick ad, we did find out some more information, specifically, Chicken, what did we learn about this whole setup fiasco and what was all going on?
A really, 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 really big problem. How do you not plug up your controller? How do you not plug up your controller? That's the number one thing you do.
I need you to understand, can we recognize that they got saved by Aspect being like, I'm not accepting a forfeit? Because if I'm letting you know, if I look down and I'm like, oh, it's not working because you didn't plug in your controller. Yeah, now we have
it up, reboot the game. I don't care. You're not avoiding this.
Yeah, now I'm agreeing with him.
You're playing. Azrael is ready to be sending them front kicks.
And he immediately called it out. Aspect on the Azrael on the left side of your screen, and Phantom.
Look, watch this. You ready for this round start? He's gonna do that dash kick. Watch, the front kick.
Okay, let's see. I want to see it.
Oh,
he jumped back in.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah.
He immediately he has that. See, that's what you played him enough to where he's going to do it.
Yeah.
And now we've seen it time and time again. Players don't know the stylish
Hold up,
9.
It's kind of cooking right now.
The stylish 9.
What is going on?
I don't know. Hey, players said look, I'm just gonna say this. I talked to Aspect.
You should have took the forfeit right now. Maybe you should have taken the forfeit.
I talked to Aspect before the game.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna let you. I talked to him before the game. I said to him, I'm like, you ready for the stylish 9? He said, stylish is no problem.
Yeah.
Right now, looking like a problem, but when
hey, burst.
Save yourself.
Your burst.
Never mind. He pressing.
He said, I don't need burst. I don't. Okay.
You might want to go ahead. Stand up. Keep fighting. Oh, nice job using the teleport to back away, but going back in immediately, looking for a fight.
Burst. How do you not know how to burst?
Welcome to
this is insane. Dude.
Welcome to the desk where half the season already I've spent saying, please tech after you land on the ground. Don't just lay there and die, please.
All right. Time for some education. All right, we in school now. We're no longer at the UEL. We in school right now.
Okay.
All right. You see that little orange circle on right below the character picture?
Yes.
That means you have a meter to break. That's your burst part.
Okay,
right?
And what's a burst do?
So basically, it's if I'm beating you up, right? Or let's say you're beating me up. That's my hey, get away from me. Give me some space.
So like right
get
now,
out of my face.
so like right there where he was up in the air getting kicked and slammed and grabbed. Like right now will be a moment where you do not want to be, bursting. Right, get him away from him, get some space.
Yeah.
I don't think you got any more time. As you can see,
that's it. It can't even burst there.
we also have a best of 3. I forgot that this game is best of 3 now. Oh my! Even out from the floor, they're like, "Oh, we're done." And X-Ray went, "No.
No.
Got another game.
You got 2 more rounds with me, buddy.
Step back in the ring."
Oh yeah! You got 3 minutes.
Wait, a character swap. He's doing something interesting.
Oh.
And now I appreciate it. He learned from La Bamba last week. Bring out the gorilla to match the gorilla Susanoo. Stylish Susanoo with that.
Stylish Susanoo. I'm sorry, not good.
Oh, as a Susanoo player, it's funny to watch people get these seals unlocked.
Yeah.
And then they be like, yo, look at all this crazy stuff I'm doing.
Yeah. I mean, that's true, but it's like in Stylish. So I'm not actually sure because I don't play Stylish, but do you get to choose what you unlock in Stylish with Susanoo?
You technically could, but that would also involve you not,
Yeah,
it's like in Modern, like you need to know how to navigate there. No, you don't. So if someone knows the combo here, like Doom is going to unlock and get the level 2, goes into super.
Yep.
Isn't as big of damage he could get here. Big beam, but he's able to get a touch, and now he just needs to find his touch. Now, the big thing about Stylish, that is the key, is that barrier block that you're seeing forcibly activate. You still need to block high and low. It does look a little bit better than the 9 here, and now guessing.
I disagree. I thought the 9 was doing a lot.
The 9.
He almost took a round. He almost took a round with 9.
I guess he doesn't have to get as close with 9. He can kind of leave those buttons out there and try to hit him.
Well, I mean, she's mostly a zoner, right? Until you get the hit.
And if you don't know the spells, that's the scary thing. That was the most menacing, just crouch waiting for him to stand up possible. X-Ray is having fun with his food. Throw into the combo here. Is he going to be able to finish it up? I love the loops. The loops. He drops it.
He misses.
Doom hit it.
Okay, Doom.
Let's go. This is where he starts. I need to see them hits. 6B coming out. That's a great move. This is that patented move coming out of Susanoo. This damage coming out. I need to see him using his light buttons though. He's got to get in here and get in touches. But these cross-ups are mixing him left, right, up, down. He doesn't know where to swing. And X-Ray is now playing, and I think he's going to go ahead and close.
That is it for the xGODS right there.
The
Taking
game.
that W.
And now that is an xGODS win. Nice try, Doom. He had a lot of fun there. I think he was trying. And importantly, X-Ray is not available for MK.
No. More importantly, neither of the Kevin or Kenny is available.
I mean, Gurns has played this in the UEL a couple times. In the UEL.
Kevin and Kenny.
No, I said Gurns has played in the UEL specifically.
Kevin and Kenny. That's the only ones that matter for this game on that team right now. Because Pip-Boy decides to not be good.
Shout out to East Coast Throwdown, Pip-Boy.
Yes. Enjoy your tournament, though, brother.
Yes.
It's a good one.
But you never know. I would normally would disagree with you possibly.
Yeah.
I saw Nexus working on a character when I walked in and saw him today.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh, no, that character's cooking if you don't know how to deal with Melina. I'll just say it outright.
Oh, yeah. If you're talking about Nexus, yeah.
Yeah, if you don't know how to deal with Melina, you're going to just be.
So when I was over there, I showed him a little bit with him, with Melina. I haven't really helped him too much because I was I was always available for the game.
Okay.
But I tried getting them on as much as I could. Everybody hates that game. But he says he's been practicing. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where he's going. So I'm glad Aspect's not available for this.
I don't want to ever count Gurns out because I don't know. Gurns is the most instinctual fighter that I've ever played with. Where I was telling Aspect this even earlier today, and I've told people I realized telling him and trying to coach him in the moment hurts more than it will ever help.
Yeah.
Than just letting him figure it out. He asked me I think about Guilty Gear once. I'm like, oh, you probably want to look at these buttons, do this. And then he just kind of figured it out. I don't need to tell you and point you in a direction, which to me means it would be really funny because another player like that is Havoc to your face. And I want to see Havoc in a fight to watch just throw loops. Who would you like to see from the xGODS? You obviously mentioned Nexus already, but is there anybody else?
Honestly, I don't think he'll go in, but AJ.
Oh, AJ's cooked a little bit?
I want to see how much his Johnny Cage has improved, or if he's even still playing Johnny. Which it probably hasn't improved. If I'm being honest, I don't think so. I can't see him touching that game.
I realized I have the Mortal Kombat player, obviously, here in the league. How you feeling about Chaos Reigns? The newest expansion for those at home. Mortal Kombat got 3 new characters. There's a season pass coming up. A few characters got some new moves and some more story content because it's Mortal Kombat.
MK1 turned into Injustice 3.
Okay, explain for the people at home, because I get what you mean by that, but people at home might not understand what you mean by that.
It's become extremely meta-like. Which I mean, it's been like that since the beginning, but now it's like you got super zoning that's going, just like be able to combo off of any button. You're safe on like literally every button, so it's like it's kind of neutral based, but it's also like you can go unga munga because you got an assist to cover you. Which even if you go unga and you still get the hit, then hey, guess what? Your assist can also allow you to still combo. So it's just like you kind of press stuff and just cover yourself with your assist.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was interesting. I hadn't heard much talk. I mean, obviously MK1, popularity. You mentioned it. I know a lot of players in the league don't like the game specifically.
Yeah, I don't like the game.
I don't think the game is horrible. I just don't like the feel. It's one of those weird things where, like, I don't like the feel of the game. It looks like Nexus is sitting down across from Exile on the Johnny Cage. So I'm going to trust this one to you, brother, to let the people at home kind of know what's going on.
Okay, so we got 1-2-1 coming out with the million assists with Katana. Didn't get the conversion. Okay, he's going to try it again.
And then the break.
Good instinctual break from Exile right there.
So what does Melina do? I know I mentioned kind of like she can be scary to fight. Why is she?
She's got so the thing about Melina, she's tricky. Like she's actually a character you have to lab. She seems really strong because she has like a huge 50-50 presence as well as like really good damage. And then if you're tagging that in with an assist as well, it's the options are limitless. But the thing is like to beat Melina, she has a lot of gaps. Knowing where the gaps are, knowing what you can micro duck, knowing how to fuzzy guard certain things, right? Knowing where to up block, and just being able to utilize with punishing her, because it might seem like she's got good range because she's got some weapons there, a little longer, but her range really isn't that good. But because of her utility, she does get a little bit of unga bunga, so she could do ball roll full screen. She's got teleports and armored teleport, right? So it can be a little tough, but you just have to utilize with punishing. I would say it's like the biggest thing against her.
Okay, that's good to know. I'm hoping that maybe Gurn's caught a little bit of that, maybe tuned into commentary a little bit, just to find. I know he's bounced. I think the two characters I've seen him on are Sub-Zero or Raiden.
Yeah.
One of the two historically. Sub-Zero feels like I don't really play Mortal Kombat a whole lot. Let me go ahead and throw people onto this character.
Yeah.
Just a very strong, like, fundamental character that has all the tools you might need. You just kind of have to figure out when and where to use it.
Okay, so one thing I do like about what Gurn shows, though, he did choose Kung Lao as his assist. So I'm curious where he's going to go with this. I don't, personally, Kung Lao isn't, the meta anymore. He got nerfed to the ground a little bit for the assist anyways. He's still good, but he's not as good as he was, right? Now it's all Chameleon and Movado. But I'm curious how he's going to approach, and then how he's going to handle Melina's pressure with Kung Lao, considering she's fast, she's got mixes in your face, and then on top of it, dealing with the Chameleon, the better assists for pressure and damage.
That makes no sense. I can tell you how Gurns is currently doing it.
Yeah.
He's finding a lot of success with these lows. I don't think that one's going to hit, and he might find himself in a combo. Unfortunately, not getting the kill there, Nexus, and now opening himself up. But Gurns doesn't have a whole lot of life left, so we may see...
Armored teleport, there it is.
I was going to say a teleport or a projectile, something here that just check to see if you're willing to press a button. Maybe
Slide.
And just trying to drop straight down with the ball. It seems like all the players were confused as to the interaction and what exactly was happening. And now Nexus just keeping up the pressure, using the same string, trying to challenge in case Gurns is pressing a button. And he gets a throw off and is going to start taking some damage. That's 12%. So a good amount. At least to work his way through, he just has to do it 10 more times.
So Gurns doesn't know what he's doing right now.
Mortal Kombat.
It's Mortal Kombat. It's not. This isn't his realm. It's okay. It's understandable. I think that's honestly one of the biggest things I've noticed too, is that a lot of people that play multiple fighting games play everything but Mortal Kombat.
I mean, I can speak. The teleport, they're beautiful to dodge out of the way of the fittable. I agree with you. Literally up until
and that's a
more
sweet
recent
Nexus.
Nexus, shows that practice. At the beginning of the day, I was like, he has a combo. He's ready to go.
Yep.
And you mentioned it. He went ahead and swept his way through that Mortal
Should
Kombat.
be using Scorpion, though, instead of Chameleon. But, it's okay.
Hey, I don't, like
Nexus,
I said,
take
take a few notes. Take a few notes. Again, I always listen. People should listen. Just whenever we get people on it, especially players, good players, like it's important to take every nugget you can, and especially in Mortal Kombat. You know Mortal Kombat pretty much inside and out.
Yeah.
Again, good showing from Nexus. Maybe showing that, hey, if he's available for this game, you might not just get a free win, even if you think that X-Ray isn't there and maybe up to snuff.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember where we were and what we were talking about. Oh, yeah, Mortal Kombat. Same. I love Fortnite fighting games. I don't know. Mortal Kombat took me a while just to sit down and play, especially one. One is different even in terms of Mortal Kombat games. It's pretty different. But now we have Lethal League Blaze.
Which is honestly, so it's not a fighting game, but it's a fighting game. It's by the fighting game community, it's recognized as a fighting game.
I will just say, Titus, just if you ever ask the question, because I know you look at the stuff and you watch.
Yeah.
If you ever ask, like, what is this game? In the case of Lethal League Blaze, all the sports players are like, why is this in the sports category?
Yeah.
All the fighting game players are like, yes, it's a sports game.
I mean, it's kind of like racquetball.
Yeah, I think there are sports elements to it. But I think the core fundamentals of that game share a lot of similarities, which is what makes it perfect here at the UEO. We play 33 different games across genres, and so you have to be able to kind of mix and match those genres. So maybe a fighting game player might pick up on the fighting game elements of the game. Some of, I'll frame data and
from
some
a sports player in my ear right now. This ain't a sports game.
Oh, there's some people in me that would agree that Roller Champions is a sports game, but there's some other elements in there as well. What we do in the league requires you to be adaptable. Is the nicest way I'm going to put it. You got to be flexible. If you come in playing one game, there's a lot of players here that I don't think you could touch in one game. An example being Chicken Tech here in Mortal Kombat. I don't think many people can touch him, but more importantly than that, if you step into this building, I'm more confident that if you challenge him to the 33 games on our wheel, he's walking away easily with the majority of them, just from the time and energy he's put in. So your red team is the xGODS, your yellow team is that of the Wolves.
Okay.
So I'm immediately... well, that's not getting played. I can promise you almost already that game's not getting played. I want to play StarCraft so bad. I would love to yap about StarCraft. But here we go. The first lives went to the side of the xGODS. And we've seen actually a lot of Dust and Ashes, I think, over the course of the season. Do you have any insight why people are picking that character specifically?
I'm not going to lie. I can't hear anything you're saying right now.
Oh, the music too good?
I'm jamming out.
The music is so good. I agree with you. I agree with you. So... I was asking about Dust and Ashes specifically. A lot of people playing the character. Why?
He's got a tricky special.
Okay.
It just pops up randomly and it'll shoot the ball out. I don't think it's the best special. I do think he is one of the better characters in the game, but I don't think he's the best character in the game.
Interesting. They brought it back, although it now is 1-1. Whoever gets these last set of lives will find a victory for their team. Currently, the way this game works, it is a little bit chaotic, but as this ball is flying back and forth, if you get hit by it, you take damage. The faster it goes, the more damage.
Something I don't think a lot of people are realizing too, like what they're doing is, wait, who is the one that just got hit right there?
I'm not sure which player. It was one of the was one of the Wolves players that ended up getting bullied out.
Yeah, so I think that was Havoc, but he basically kept hitting the ball in the corner to build up the speed, and then eventually he's just gonna pass it to somewhere else because. I can't remember the character's name, but the character he was using, when you use his special, he's one of the few characters that even though I'm facing this way and I'm hit my bat swinging this way, somehow I can make it go behind me. So the ball can go literally any direction.
He spins. It's insane. I will argue with you on that point. I think one thing the league is doing too much currently is the smash attack. Everybody's trying to get that speed up more and more and more. Realizing that, like, the vast majority of people...
I mean, there's other tech, but, right, like bunting, right?
Yeah.
Like,
you
don't see a whole lot of bunting.
Oh, yeah, I just think that people are, like, defaulting to, well, if I get the ball going fast enough, they'll end up
I mean, it's
dying.
easier to hit, like, the faster it's going once it gets down. So a lot of people don't know. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to save this one for y'all to figure out. But,
See, like, I'm trying. I just think I don't want I think everybody's looking for that, the black and white screen ultimately.
And
where I'm
that
like,
is a forfeit coming out of the Wolves, by the way. I just heard it on the floor.
so it was allowed by the xGODS. Maybe the xGODS want to. Oh no, the xGODS don't necessarily want to play StarCraft either. So maybe
No,
that.
I think
Havoc.
I think the xGODS right now are trying to say, "Yo, we're getting through the entire wheel right here. We're about to have the best record."
There
of the
are
season.
6 games left on this
Yes.
wheel. I just realized that.
Can we get a?
With
can we
40
see what
minutes
games are
left.
left?
Because I want to find. Let's find. Okay,
Okay,
Wreckfest.
Lumina Rush. That's a 2-second game. F1. That's like a 3-minute game.
2K is a 5-minute game.
Yeah,
6-minute
5-minute game. Yeah, 6-minute. Yeah, technically. 100%.
Wreckfest.
No, 100%. The wheel is complete. They're like this season,
With-
right here.
Yeah,
This game, the wheel completes.
with Wreckfest and Final Stand Ragnarok,
Yes.
we're getting through those being the only long games on Wreckfest again.
Yes.
Not long by any means.
Yes.
That can easily be a super fast game. And Final Stand's what, 8 minutes? 8 minutes is probably our longest guaranteed game.
Yeah, someone on the xGODS must have a date because they're trying to get through this game as quick as they can.
I do know Sin pulled up on his motorcycle today. He was walking in, jacking and everything.
Or maybe Havoc's wife is getting on him. Hey, I need you to come watch the kids.
Hey.
Get here right now.
Oh, we're playing StarCraft. Let's get into it. I am beyond happy. StarCraft 2 is getting played. So this is a game where you collect resources. Normally, we play unlimited resources, but those resources are used to build armies and are able to kill other players. So here we are watching Doomsday build a beautiful wall of pylons, these crystals that give power.
I'm not sure why you would build the pylons that way, but hey, like because your unit cap is already uncapped. So like,
You gave out some text, so I'll give out some text.
Okay.
So the one thing about this mod in particular,
yes,
is there are moments where your supply cap appears if you do not build enough pylons.
yes,
But I don't think he's doing it for that reason. I think he's doing it because he wants to go ahead and build.
Yeah.
He wants to go ahead and build,
Yeah.
a bunch of pylons to be safe. It feels like you and I know.
All I'm gonna say is, look, kid, space your pylons. Just space your pylons. That's it.
I'm not on all that, bro. I don't know if I could say, bro.
And look, hey, you get more room to build.
Yeah, but I'm also not actually trying to be precise. As a StarCraft player, unfortunately, I am not perfectly spacing all of my pylons.
You have to on this map.
On this map is really interesting. I want more people to immediately leave their base and go up north and start building and stop
Actually, that's what I did on this map last season.
Yeah,
It's like I because there just wasn't enough room, and I played Zerg, so generally I was by the time it was time for my second hatchery, I just sent it to the very top left.
I don't do Doomsday can't hear me right now. Fun fact, Doomsday, you are left clicking, you can hold down the Z key and it will automatically fill those up for you.
Yeah.
Save you a few save your wrist, honestly.
Yeah.
A few presses of the button. But normally you see them building structures here at home. They are upgrading their weapons as well, but these structures will build out different military units ready to jump out and fight. And so now you are seeing them getting ready to go into conflict. If I could request from production, we pop over to either X-Ray Aspect or Havoc to your face, just because those two players.
Havoc!
Havoc is. Never mind. We're on Havoc.
Yeah.
He is ending the game
Okay.
before it even starts.
Yeah.
It's kind of. I looked up and I was like, oh wow, somebody's building a bunch of things, and I realized Doomsday is just now realizing that there are a bunch of cannons in his base. This will probably take Doom out of the game, if I'm being honest. So the xGODS want them to play this game. I'm just gonna keep it interesting that you're getting cannon and actually going for a robo isn't bad. Maybe some immortals could help you survive here. Looks like he's done some research into which units he wants to be placing. StarCraft this season has been interesting because, funnily enough, removing the required, I feel like it's League of Legends all over again. If I remove the early game and just get people to the fighting part of StarCraft, they start to like the game. You're like, if people can just team fight in League and ARAM, oh wow, League is pretty fun. It's pretty cool. The moment I'm like, hey, laning phase, you have to slow down. You need to be thinking about a few different things. People are like, why can't I just go fight it?
Yeah. I mean, with how it was last season with the ARAM, generally that's what you did, right? But
and here we see
there's no build up.
Yeah. And here we see the rest of the players. Actually, no, this is more of Havoc's units coming in to get another kill. I think Havoc just realizing this game is going to end fairly quickly and just not wanting to let this game go on a long time. For people at home, I do think that there's a lot of mistaken identity for the game of StarCraft. A lot of people think that this nerfs a lot of the games nerf. People would think this would nerf StarCraft players. This just makes every good StarCraft player better.
Like 1,000 times better.
Because it's kind of like it's like unlocking the limiters that were keeping us semi-contained the entirety of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
I was chilling out and hanging out. The rookie here, Lamani, very clearly like looking around. This is not one of those games that I expect most people to be comfortable with if they haven't already played it prior to coming into the league. And if you have played it prior to coming into the league, even then, I love that I think that game went ahead and ended pretty quickly. There's still ships to be flown. Sin still looking for a kill. The game is pretty much finishing up.
So I'm curious right now. Are the xGODS not allowing them to forfeit because they want these L's on the Wolves box scores?
Oh, that would be cool.
Are they wanting to just say, like, hey, we legitimately played every game, but, like, 6?
Probably. I think that's more.
I think
I'm going to argue that.
Right
I think there is some disrespect, but I'm going to argue the opposite. They don't care about the Wolves box scores. They care about their own. At the end of the season, this is a game. This is a game, if I'm being hilarious, by the way.
Yeah.
The rest of the team has now caught up to Hasaj. Hasaj was starting to creep up there.
Yeah.
But this game, they can be like, hey, bro, you missed 25 possible games that could have been on your record.
Yep.
You didn't show up. That's if they win. Again, I will give Nexus credit. He did call I want to say 8-14 game today. So the Wolves are one game off of hitting that 8 mark. And do you think it might have been finals or one of those games they were forced to forfeit like Dragon Ball Fighters?
DBZ, 100%.
DBZ, I think, is the one game that I can look at and say.
I think they would have. I can confidently
I will
say
never
that they
fully count Aspect out of any fighting game, but I think he knows that as long as Gurns is playing his game, beating him, it's one of those things that he was a player that has 1v3 too many times in that game to count at that point where it's like, cool. If you don't know how to play fighters, you're going to just get run over.
So, all right, so here's a little thing for Aspect. When you see him start doing this, he's doing this, he's ready. He wants to go in. He's ready to press buttons right now. All right, when he's doing this, be scared.
I got you. I'm going to wait. I'm going to see the hands go up, wait till the last second, be like, button check.
Yeah.
Let's swing. I dare you to swing.
Yeah, his inner masher comes out when he starts doing this.
I don't know about any of that, bro. I don't know about any of that. As a Leah Whitefling player, we would never mash. I will stand up for my brethren on that front. We are the most honest, deep thinking.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Honest, deep, galaxy brain level thinking players.
DP.
Yeah, exactly. That look,
DP.
just because do we blame the perfect tool for the perfect situation in every time? The only answer is if you do nothing.
Is it the perfect tool or the only tool? That's the real question.
I have back turn.
BP.
That's
the only answer.
Exactly. Oh my goodness, this is actually gonna be a funny player. Let's see what's going on here. Wreckfest.
All right, so we got Wreckfest coming up next. Okay. Who do you think takes Wreckfest?
If I'm being honest, I legitimately think it's the xGODS. But Wreckfest always feels like this weird 50-50 game.
Yeah.
Where, like this week, I wouldn't have expected the bots to lose Wreckfest. They just seem to be pretty good at it. But because they picked, everyone's
there's
favorite.
No buses now, though.
Yeah, I
buses are banned.
People are trying to find vehicles to replace the bus.
Everybody's using the rammer now. Yo, actually, during I think it was the Shoguns game, that was the most insane thing. At the start of the game, I got turned sideways. And, obviously you start in the middle of everybody, right? So there was no time to,
You
really
were the person that got pushed. Oh,
yeah,
my.
I got pushed to the side, and then I was getting barrel rolled, and I was being pushed so fast, I literally couldn't reset to get out of it.
They got your speed up high enough.
So I'm just over here in my car, just going crazy.
That's what I love about Wreckfest. Wreckfest is a game. Wreckfest is the game that I actually have some of the most fun with on the wheel because it's a game that I cannot take so deeply serious.
Yeah.
Like if I'm playing StarCraft, I go back into my like, okay, cool. I'm competing. I want to do this, blah, blah, blah with StarCraft because it's just one of those games. Wreckfest, I'm like, bro. I think we saw for one of the Paladin games.
Yeah.
Somebody, Raijin came out. Raijin and Cutters. Raijin came out of the death loop as Cutters came in, and they totaled each other by clipping each other for a split second.
Oh no.
It was the funniest thing. Oh, it looks like it's time to head to the fields.
But see, here's the thing, right? Statistically, the harvesters are supposed to be good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the harvesters are good because they're
too
easy
hard to
to
control.
tip over.
Yeah.
And then you have to spend so much time trying to reset. Like maybe this map, sure. But I mean,
tell
look,
that
look
to
at one
Kenny.
of the harvesters right now.
Tell that to Kenny and Electric. They are both almost dead as this game. Once somebody is dead, by the way. As this game starts, we're watching AJ Little Blue, and you mentioned how difficult it is, easy it is to tip over.
Yeah.
Kenny is dead.
Yeah.
Kevin looking to avenge his twin, and might just run into AJ Little.
Yeah. I think this right here is where you just kind of you create a wall with the harvesters, and you have one person just
Raising.
literally just targeting people.
Oh,
Yeah.
it looks like there is some,
He said big body.
and the xGODS forfeited the game.
Okay. Well, hey, this is the 8th then. Hey, maybe they knew they was about to lose Wreckfest.
Maybe they didn't submit their lineup. That would
Oh,
be-
is that what it was?
It might have been the funniest thing in the world. It might have been the funniest thing in the world that they did. I will get some confirmation on you, but I have to believe because the way that AJ looked
Yeah.
back, he was surprised, and that makes me believe. That makes me believe that it had to have been.
No Adam. No aspect for F1. Oh.
They had Havoc sit down and play the game instead of X-Ray Aspect.
So, maybe a little bit of miscommunication.
The Wolves wanted to not deal with it, but unfortunately, with a forfeit remaining, they don't control the fate of the xGODS. So you mentioned X-Ray Aspect is not available for this game.
Yeah.
But funnily enough, he went in for the last game. Havoc is not bad at F1.
No, Havoc's not bad at all. I don't know. I think Havoc will take it over Snappy, but I don't know. Because Snappy's not bad at it, but it depends on where he starts. If he starts in the middle of the pack, Snappy loses. If Snappy starts up front, I think Snappy can win depending on what map it is. But I mean, it's a Wolf setup, so you don't have to worry. Like, there's no way he picks Monaco, right? Like there's no way he picks Monaco.
Snappy? I don't think so. I wouldn't expect.
I would never expect him.
We've seen a lot of Monaco. I don't know why so many players are committing to Monaco.
Because they're bad, and they're trying to get people to wreck. You heard it first.
But
that's the only reason you choose Monaco.
But I'll be on. Like, I feel like that changed last season.
Yeah.
And the only time I will refer to myself where I was like, I didn't really. I've played a minimum amount of F1, but it's like, if you're not just holding down the trigger, you probably shouldn't be crashing.
Yeah.
Regardless, unless again the AI. If you don't know the AI will crash out anyway.
Yeah.
But like people running into walls, we haven't seen that as much. So like Monaco, most people are like, well, I'll just slow down, and go around the turn a little bit safer.
The one thing I will say is, so Qwerty, I'm calling you out, but it's a good way. It's a good thing. All right. So, yes, you do play Monaco. I think Monaco is a terrible map. It's not a true it's not truly indicative, in my opinion, of like a skill map, but you are good on that map. I will give you that.
But is he good at F1?
F1 as a whole, I think he could be good. I think I haven't seen him race on any other map. Besides that one, or at least that I can recall. And when I played against him, he was racing good, but I was going to race him clean. He tapped me at the beginning, or he tried brake checking me, and then I was like, okay, now I'm just going to follow behind you, and I'm going to wait till it's the very end, and I'm just going to spin you out, and you just lose.
I love that about. I like every F1 player comes in, and I've talked to multiple, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll ride a clean race," and then someone's like, "You stepped on my foot." All right.
Well, no. Well, there's a difference between hitting the brakes and slamming on the brakes for no reason.
Trying to look for that quick finish.
Yeah.
So F1 coming up here. I believe that leaves us. We are at 29, 4 games left on our wheel with a little over 30 minutes to play. It does look like the xGODS Wolves will hit that 33 games mark. Is the Wolves the first organization in the UEL history to play 33 plus games twice in the organization's history? I think they did it last season as well. I could be wrong.
Wait, what happened?
Did the Wolves play 33 games or 30 plus games last season ever? I think they did in one of their
Wolves?
games. I know the Phantom.
The Wolves? You mean New Moon?
No, I play, not win. Play 30 plus games. This is not a situation where I'm saying win 31.
Yeah, no, I don't. Maybe. Okay,
because
okay,
there were a couple of 33, like the Gorillas, for example. Now your team, the Click, finished the entire wheel right before.
Look, all I'm gonna say, look, man, I'm a player. Okay, I focus on what's right now, and right now I see some good F1.
So on the bottom, I would let you know Snappy's on the bottom. Top is Havoc to your face. So Snappy did finish or start here out in the front.
Yep. So Snappy's on the bottom, yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
so Snappy's on bottom. All right, good turn. All right, yep, hitting the gas.
Havoc has drifted back now to 8th place, I believe.
All right, so let's see if so right here you got to drop down to 4th. Okay, a little slower. Like realistically, you drop to 4th, you coast through that turn, and then right as you're about to get straight, you kick in right here. You can maintain your speed. You want to drop to 5th, coast this turn. Havoc taking some damage there. He is fighting with them AIs. He is scrapping right now.
I like how you glanced up and you're like, oh.
Yeah. Look, the only reason I saw debris flying, okay, I just saw debris flying, and I look up, and Havoc is like battling it out with the AIs right now.
And by the way, for those at home wondering how to be good at F1, you notice that based on the mini-map and the maps and experience, Chicken's immediately able to know exactly what speed, what the edge of the speed he's allowed to play at is. You're allowed to play at that 4th gear and to maintain speed. You just have to coast around and know exactly when you can start to accelerate. These are some of those racing lines that you top-tier racers know exactly how to hold and how to balance, pushing the limits without going too far.
Look, all I'm going to say is even if you don't play F1, get on F1 and learn by rank. Learn the very first map. 90% of matches is this map right here that we're looking at is by rank.
Oh, interesting.
Or at least from what I can tell. Every time I see me not playing or like 3 other people in the league, it's this map. And learn this map. It's not hard. Like, you don't have to like the game. This is the easy. This is baby mode. Mickey Mouse.
Not Mickey Mouse. He said, head to the clubhouse. Y'all looking for Mickey and friends, and they won't even do that?
Yes.
Oh, my. Okay. So, once again, this is what I love about race. The racers are also the most outspoken. All of the racers are like, y'all just are lazy. It's not even that y'all are just.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, like, literally. All right. Turn the lines on. Go to time trial. Turn the lines on. Race 25 laps. Turn the lines off. Race another 25 laps. And then go to Grand Prix under the UEL settings. Right? And practice racing against the AI. Learn to get in first place. Learn to overtake. Learn how to take turns. Stop slamming on your brake. You don't need to hit the brake for every corner.
This is Doug. I can't argue with you. To be honest,
I'm trying to go fast, and y'all over here. Well, I would say driving like Grandma, but Grandma drives a little fast. But but just driving slow.
No, I understand, and I think there's a lot of games, F1 being the easiest to point out.
Yeah.
That people might not be too worried about.
Yeah.
I'll say this: learning the game. This is not Chicken's not asking you to know positions and speed and perfect lines.
Yeah.
But to just be comfortable enough to play this game. If I have to send you in here, all right, I'm going to send you in. It's the first map of the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
Just do your best to get through here.
No, like, all right, even if you. All right, do 5 laps with the lines on and 5 laps with the lines off. At least do that.
So right now, how is Snappy looking in your mind? Now coming back to
Snappy's
him,
looking great right now.
he's sitting in first place. It looks like he's holding on control of that
Snappy,
position.
yeah, Snappy's doing great. I mean, he's and okay, so that's generally what people do when they don't want to say forfeit. Well, you can't forfeit, right? But that's what people do when they're ready to just end the game.
What do you mean? I lost control. My hand slipped.
Oh no!
I wanted to say hello to the wall. Any number of things. 2K coming up next. There are 3 games left with 26 minutes. Okay, so there's one issue with this. I would be giving possibly a 10th win here. It's not going to happen. AJ and Nexus being available. If you don't, I have this rule of thumb. If you don't know you beat somebody, there are games you don't play. If you don't know you beat these 2 in 2K, don't waste your energy on it unless you have a pre-plan. Like you have a plan, obviously. But I think, do you think
Never
Gurns and
forfeit a 50-50.
Do you think Exile and Gurns are beating Nexus, AJ, and 2K?
What does it matter? You have to play anyway.
Fair. All right. Fair. You know what? I didn't add the stipulation of no one has timeouts, no one has forfeits.
Yeah, it's done.
There are 30 minutes left.
For an hour and 15 minutes, everything's been gone. I don't care how much you hate the game. You gotta play.
Logan.
So I hope you practiced.
Logan, shout out. We haven't had a technical timeout, but shout out to technical timeout. Our show here in the
Logan,
UEL.
GOAT.
Always talking
Bells
the
and
ins and
whistles.
outs of the league, talking to players like yourself, getting to the nitty gritty. 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
I have promised and said to you that there is no more need to talk about setup.
Yeah.
I had lied in the worst way possible. The fact that you brought up with an hour and 15 minutes left, we were out of time.
Well, I guess technically you can forfeit if you don't want to play. Don't set the game up.
But your opponent has to accept. And if I'm sitting on the other side,
Not if neither side have a forfeit, right?
I think no, the team with or without a forfeit, the team who set up it is. So the xGODS could not set it up, but the Wolves would have to accept forfeit.
No. Since when do you have to accept though?
You don't have to accept.
Well, no. That's what I'm saying. Since when do you is that even an option?
Once you run out of timeout. So the example was BlazBlue.
Uh-huh.
The Wolves did not have FFs left.
Yeah.
And so it was put up to your opponent who to decide if you FF or not. Because you're not spending your own FF. The xGODS weren't spending their FFs. You just have to, your fate in that game is given over to your opponents. So your opponent gets to decide, the simplest answer I can give you is the time part of UEL.
Yeah.
If you ever get to a moment where you run out of timeouts and forfeits, time is completely under the control of your opponent. Because if you and I are playing, and
I've just never seen it happen. I've never had the opportunity, I guess.
Chicken's like, couldn't be me.
Yeah.
Could.
It's never happened to me. I don't ever remember being asked, but I don't care. I don't care what roles I'll play. I've been playing 2K the past 2 games.
Oh, that's the best part. I love
NCAA yesterday. First time ever touching that game, by the way.
I
scored that touchdown. I stole that ball.
I love watching Chicken because I can see when Chicken sits down, he's like,
I love
bro,
him.
I'm willing to.
Me, 100%.
You're sitting. I can see on your face when you're like, I play 31 of these games.
Yeah.
30. Why do I keep ending up in this position?
Well, okay, hang on. Let's be fair. 30. I don't play Halo either.
There was a whole conversation about that.
I hate that game. I hate that game. That's the worst game on the wheel.
Hate? Okay, now you're saying
I'd rather play Fortnite, and I hate that game too.
I don't think Fortnite is the worst game on the wheel either.
All right, in your opinion, what? All right. So all right. Let me rephrase. It's not the worst game on. It's my most hated. All right, what's your most hated game on the wheel?
Currently, probably Mortal Kombat. I hate Mortal Kombat.
It's not my most hated, but I don't like it.
Dragon Ball FighterZ is legitimately my most hated game on the wheel. I will be up.
Wait, current state or pre-state?
since launch of Dragon Ball Fighters, I have 300.
You know what? I don't even like the game.
I have
as a whole.
I have
I don't care what
350 hours in that game. I have tried it numerous times. I'm always like, cool, let's go. I love 2K actually. Shout out to Billy on 2K.
Yeah.
Playing him in playoffs and like his shot meter just didn't work for whatever reason. It was the best thing in the world.
You know what the best game on the wheel is?
What?
Lumina Rush.
I heard you saying that yesterday, and I was like, "There's no
Best game on the wheel.
It's crazy that you spelled StarCraft with an L.
Yeah. Hey, that's right beside it. You just you can go faster in Lumina. That's all it is.
It's always hilarious.
Yo, who is going fast right now on this? No, oh, never mind.
Gurren's on the Wimby.
Okay.
Kicks it out.
All right, so I know a little bit about Kareem. All right, he's setting up the screen. Look at him go. All right. He let him by. He let him by. L teammate.
Nexus on the Larry Bird.
okay.
All right, I want to get into this for a split second because we do have a Wimby and a Derrick Rose from the side of the Wolves.
So what's that mean?
We don't see Derrick Rose shot to one of the goats. Oh my God. Okay, AJ, why you just swatting the ball
Why
like that?
you taking out pedestrians? They're just trying to enjoy a game of basketball.
They're doing their best. All right, next is here on the Derrick Rose. A lot of driving power, the ability to have – it's just not a pretty all-around player.
Screen, okay.
Trying to just get this first step. And AJ just standing here, hands up. Gurns puts a point on the board for his team. And now we see, boom, it kicks it over. This is Nexus on the Larry Bird. Takes the screen. It's Larry Bird. He can take the shot. But it kicks it down to AJ for the quick dunk.
So I just thought about something.
What?
Okay. So last night we discovered when you go to the animation stuff where you choose like your player reticle and all that, right? You can also edit the sound effects.
When you like make the shot?
Yes.
Oh no. Oh,
and there
no.
is the classic boing, boing, boing. So every time you make a shot,
oh, see, this is gonna be casting like, what was that sound? It's like, yes, didn't you know? Nexus with another shot. Is he able to drop this one? He isn't. Kick it back to him again. He got to keep trying until he makes it. We're not leaving the building until someone makes a three. You have Larry Bird. That's a very easy. Please, but here we go. Gurns holding on to this ball, gets stopped by AJ, kicks it back over, and the quick dunk.
Okay.
Quick step in.
I don't know what's happening. This is
it's a lot of fundamental play.
So
okay.
All right. Teach me basketball right now.
All right, so in 2v2 basketball, a lot of this is going to be a matter of managing when you need to be on your man and when you don't.
Okay, so who's doing that right now?
Right now, the xGODS are doing that far better. Okay. One example I will give you is whenever AJ has the ball and is out near the three-point line, ignore him. Okay. If he makes that shot, that's a 1 in a million shot. Kareem is not a three-point shooter. Yeah. On the other side, Gurns with this Wimby could actually be playing a little bit further out and taking these shots and have the opportunity to be able to make it. So recognizing when do I need to commit and when I don't need to commit. Because as a big man, I've told this to my teammates before, like, just shoot. I'll get the rebound because I'm beating anybody that's not a good 2K player at rebounding, and you'll be able to play the game. So, like, right there where AJ ran all the way out and is now running for the pick, you know that AJ is either going to come off this pick and run to the basket so you cover him, or
just run around him.
Yeah, so you have to, as a player, be like, stay your man. And the moment you realize you can't, that's when you call a switch. So Wimby picks him up, picks up Derrick Rose's man, picks up Bird. Nice kick out.
Yeah, but if you never mind a switch, you just bully him out of the box and just take the one.
Force them to actually do. Did you just try to alley oop? The xGODS are having fun. The xGODS are having.
I learned
so
how
much
to alley oop last night. Not during the game.
All right, hey, to all the click, to Sky Guy, the managers, put him in next time 2K rolls.
No, do not. Unless
put
you
him
want
in.
to lose
I want to
game.
see the alley oops. I want to see him jump. So now we see dribbling with the ball. This is that give and go, looking for the alley oop. Good job.
They must be hearing us right now.
I'd have to believe they are. They're having too much fun out there. Nexus and AJ trying their best here. And now I see using the speed of Derrick Rose to get this first step, try to go in. But you notice how AJ didn't chase Gurns. He was just waiting because he knows the real threat for the game.
Yeah.
A beautiful shot. I think he should just win off of making that 3. Derrick Rose is an amazing player. We should just go ahead and give it to him. But here we go. Oh, when did Kareem do that?
Styling on him.
What is happening?
I've never seen that before in my life.
This is the fun part about 2K. 2K is just outside of the realm of reality. 3 to match it up. It's funny because under the new 5-minute rules, we've never had a game go to 21, and I think AJ and Nexus could have done it this game if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
Get the 21 points. But they're clearly having fun. Nice steal there by the side of the Wolves. Let's see if they're able to get a shot off. Nice hesitation, nice wait. The shot, unfortunately, doesn't make it. Kicks it back up into another shot from Bird. That 3 also doesn't go in. Neither side can actually make shots right now. They might want to go back to training camp. The ball is stolen. Larry Bird stole from Derrick Rose into a stop and pop. Larry Bird, you have to
it
fear
makes
him.
sense. He got long arms, right?
True.
He's like, yo, get that out of here.
True. CK is the funniest game, but Nexus, not to be outdone, tries one of his own, doesn't get the ball. It goes down to AJ, who brings it back. I think AJ's going for a 3 of his own. He looks to step up. He kicks it down low. Almost taken, but a good shot there. We're at 13 points. 30 seconds left in this 2K game. AJ on fire. Kicks over, dribbles. Let's see. I think Exile's trying to get this last shot up. He puts it up. Unfortunately, doesn't hit it. Kicks it back. He got to step back. It's not clear just yet. Give it to Kareem for the 3. Kareem for the 3. And the foul means that the last shot will go to that of the xGODS.
Yep.
Never mind. They're going to alley it. They're going to alley you.
There it is.
That's another little bait play for all the big men, learning big men out there. If you ever see somebody run back, they're trying to get you to step that direction to immediately just blow by you and beat you to the hoop. So a good game, 15 minutes late, 8 to 12 will be spent on this final stand Ragnarok, depending on how quickly they get to the game.
8 to 12.
Oh, 8 to 10, excuse me, including setup time. Because there's 2 minutes for setup. That's the issue that a lot of people do when they do like the math for games.
Yeah.
Is I feel like they don't account for the fact it's like, oh, we're down by 4 games with like 30 minutes left. I'm like, there's 4 minutes of setup between 4 games. That's at least 20 minutes almost, 16 to 16 minutes for you to get into those games. If the other team just wants to wait till the last second to be like, ready. You have to figure out like how long is it going to take me to get into these games. And, you know, we both know you have to then be able to prove that the other team is intentionally delaying the game, which is a whole another thing because most people aren't going to be like.
There's no real way to prove it.
Unless,
even though 2K yesterday, but you know,
unless you actively like, unless the person's willing to say like, place. I'm like, I tell a lot of people like,
I'm just thinking. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
like, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I don't know.
I've absolutely done that. I've been like, yo, button check, and it'd be like, yo, and it's not because I want to slow play. It's absolutely just me being like button check, and I'd be like,
you're playing UEL. You ain't playing the game.
That's the issue. Most people don't realize that, like, if you're at a point where 30 seconds matters in a UEL game, you messed up a lot of places. Prior to that. Even, I've always said this about, like, our game against y'all, even our games against the Ravens. Any game where it comes down to, like, 1 point, both teams have a lot to VOD review from that game. Because at the end of the day, a game like the xGODS, if you're like, hey, we're a top team in this league, how should we look against the Wolves? 22-9. The Wolves will win their games in their positions, but we should be taking a majority of the wheel. Y'all did a similar thing yesterday, you know, coming out really strong and winning a good majority of the game.
I thought I was just, like, the games were tough yesterday, but I was expecting more. Like, and I'm not trying to bash, like, because they did play good, but, like, we kept catching them out of rotation, and it's just, I don't know, it was,
forfeit. So
that's one game.
So
right?
exactly what I was talking about just happened there. The timer ran out, and the question was then posed to the xGODS: do you accept the forfeit?
No, like, no, get out of here. We go into the last game. I think it's last.
Hey, spin the wheel. Spin the wheel.
The best game. Yo, 3-minute game right here. The best game on the wheel.
I want to give a shout out to
Right
both
now,
these
it's the
teams.
only game on the wheel.
Yeah. And they have done it with the role of Lumina Rush. They have officially played. They will have played 33 games.
Yep.
On the wheel. Kenny, Lemani, and Exile have to go in.
Hey, I know y'all can hear me over there. I want to see 318. 318.
Havoc notably is not available for this game. If Havoc was available for this game, I would just go ahead. Yeah. There's a set of players I know looking at the leaderboard that if they're available, my best hope is that you have a bad run.
So I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
Mm-hmm.
You see that tier 1 on the xGODS right there? He's not that bad.
Oh, I know.
He's not that bad.
The amount of times I've popped into people's streams, like, again,
yeah.
Shout out y'all stream, I watch, I lurk, and, like, I just see, like, and they just be like, oh, yeah, you should do this, and this is how you do it. I'm like, you sit down sometimes, and he be looking like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, AJ.
Yeah.
AJ, you're tier 1 for a reason. We both know. The smile doesn't work on me, AJ. I know that you know. But now going to the Lumina Rush, you mentioned 318. Is there a particular reason you like that level?
Because nobody can do it. It's a hard level.
It is. I love that level.
It's funny to watch people try to beat it. That's the only reason I like it. It's honestly, it's strictly just because of the very end. It's like, unless you practice that, like, you're not getting through that map.
If it rolls the next time we play, y'all, I'm down to play 318. Okay. I actually love 318 as a level.
Okay.
He says that and is like, I found the way to run through the level backwards.
Yeah, basically. I know how to skip the whole middle section.
The first or second level?
Second. The
circles? Or no?
No, from first to second.
Yeah.
You don't have to go all the way across the
that's
wall.
That's the thing that I saw Dictator do, and then immediately proceeded to be like, huh? And went home and went.
Yeah.
Which is why Illumina is great. And the Wolves do hit double digits. A forfeit of Lumina Rush by the xGODS. AJ messed up his lineup.
I'm mad.
I need you to. This always happens. Whatever game you want the first time you're on the desk for a season is the exact game that gets forfeited, is not rolled. Yeah. I'm legitimately more mad about the finals because I really wanted to watch the finals today. Yeah. And with 10 minutes left on the clock, they managed to do it with plenty of time. So we will be back here in 1 second with an interview with these players to get their insight on what happened today. Logan, I'm going to need you to call on them as well. Maybe call on Doomsday to have a chat about this game. I think it'll be a lot of fun. But we'll see you in 1 second on the other side of this.
Did you know poor posture while gaming can cause serious neck and shoulder pain? Meet the Volare Pillow. This pillow is designed specifically for gamers. It gives your neck and shoulders the support they need, reduces strain, and helps you sit comfortably for hours. It's extra comfy and hey, you can even pick your style. It comes in rare, legendary, and epic levels. Match it with your setup by choosing from a variety of colors and designs. Don't wait for the next ache to hit. Level up your comfort with Volare. Use code UEL15 at checkout for 15% off your order. Grab yours today and feel the difference in your next gaming session.
I don't want to blow out the fucking...
10 is the number of the day. The Wolves won 10
Double
games.
digits! And that's really all we were looking forward today. Double digits, really...
Yeah, honestly, the fact that they let 10 wins for us, it shows, you know, we're just good like that. Please don't rewatch this game. Please, dear God. Can we all erase this from our memories? This was horrible, but we finished early. First team to finish a game early with like 12 minutes left on the clock. I think we're just good like that.
The amount of forfeits today, let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
The amount of forfeits today, it's like we had some sort of virus working against us, some sort of PC issue, okay? Back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Snappy is mad. I'm going home and getting beat. Snappy is mad.
We will make sure to send somebody home with you just in case to make sure you are okay. So what I'm hearing, all right, I'm gonna go over. So what I'm hearing, virus in the building.
Yeah.
The xGODS have fallen off.
Oh,
They're not a top team
100%.
of the league. They lost 10 games
Reapers,
today.
congrats on 4 in a row. They fell off. They didn't have a Saj today. We saw how they fell off. God damn!
Yeah, their carry is gone. I don't know what they can do. Yo, turn that shit off. Turn that shit. Take that shit off.
Being losers, y'all have looked amazing in y'all's last 2 games. Obviously today, one of the things. Do y'all think y'all have found y'all's identity now in the UEL for
Let me
season 9?
see. 10 to 23, 0-4. Absolutely. We're here and we're here to stay.
Hey, Billy, I'm just saying, I see you in the chat. That's not true. There was a 16-0 once, and I wasn't a part of that. A 7-man lost 16. They didn't win a single game.
And you're named after an animal. Pipe down.
Okay, well, you all are amazing. Thank y'all for being good sports today. Thank y'all for
we're
sticking
definitely
out.
great sports.
Y'all can say whatever you want to your fans at home, your mom, your pops, anybody. This is your floor. Take your moment.
Okay, well, Pit Boy, I would shout you out, but you missed this match. That really hurt my feelings. I thought you were going to play. I miss you. We miss you dearly. Maybe not skip another match for this season, please.
Shout out to my cat, Mr. Mittens. Lots of love from him. I can feel it, today.
Shout out Sin City Triad sitting in the background there. This dude drives a motorcycle. But being for real, obviously, we're just taking a joke. Shout out to the people that watched. Obviously, this isn't what we wanted. Well, we knew coming into this game, 2 new people. I joined maybe a week ago. Hadn't been able to show myself with the Ravens, so it was just kind of cleaning off rust. I mean, losing FIFA, that sucked, but I went up against AJ and Nexus most of the games, so I'm not going to make any excuses. It's on to the next one. We play next week, so I'm going to be professional here, do the commentator, whatever, right? I'm not letting this dude talk, but for our fans, obviously, 10 to 23 is crazy, right? We got double digits. We're happy we got double digits. We came into this game knowing that we couldn't win. If we did win, that would have been the greatest upset of all time, and you wouldn't.
Real quick, why'd you put the 2 pastiest motherfuckers from the team on here? We got 2.
Okay, and on that note, we're going to come back here shortly.
Shout out to the rest of the UEL. Actually,
praise Jesus.
Appreciate y'all.
Brush your teeth, eat your vegetables. See y'all later.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank you.
If he loses this now, I don't even know.
You
All right,
lost,
calm down,
man.
TLG. You just lost to him. Calm down. Stay focused, bro. Stay focused.
Going great on his trail.
Right now, hunting down from the bandits.
Oh, and there.
10, and that one goes in there, taking this one away. It's 5-2. The first half is really starting to go their way.
Yes, it is. Definitely is. This could be a runaway, like you said.
And now I am joined with the xGODS. The LA xGODS, welcome. Y'all went ahead and took your 5th win halfway through your season. How are y'all feeling? How do y'all think y'all are shaping up?
Feeling good, feeling great. Just another day in the office. It's like, nah. It was a good game. 5-0. Coming up on our hardest matchup of the season. It's gonna be tough, but this was a good win for the week. Right before our game coming up. I don't want to say it's a warm up, but you know what? It was a warm up.
Okay.
It's like not.
I know there's a lot of love between the 2 teams. I know y'all have played a lot, practiced a lot with each other. Do you think that played at all? Because y'all surprisingly were forfeiting shooters today.
Absolutely. Yep. We
No
them
Josh,
all the time,
no Josh,
and no
I'm sorry.
Josh is pretty rough.
Yeah, nah.
And Gurren sucks at Tekken. That king is a fraud. Hey, Gurren, you suck at Tekken. You suck at Tekken.
Okay, and beyond that, looking ahead, you did mention your hardest matchup. This Reapers game is coming up next week.
Mhm.
How are y'all feeling going into that game?
I mean, just look at the team. I mean, like, you just look at the team, bro. Like, you know, it's gonna be a tough matchup no matter what. They all stayed together from last season's championship, which our team at full strength couldn't, you know, capitalize. You know, so it's gonna be tough. But I mean, I like how we are right now. We're gonna fight good. It's gonna be a good fight. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think, but it's not going to be, you know, no blowout or anything. We're going to play our asses off. Oh, our butts off, sorry. I have to keep it family friendly, I was told.
We appreciate it here. We appreciate it here. Y'all have been looking good. Y'all are looking better and better. Is it safe to say, because another one of your rival teams, in this case, the bot said they were going to see the Reapers in the finals, is it safe to say y'all are looking to claim that spot or are taking that spot?
Listen, I mean, anybody can say what they want to say, you know, but
Yeah. We'll get there when we get there.
You let the work speak for itself.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all. To any of your fans, to any of the different sorry, I'm so sorry. To any of the fans at home, to any of your sponsors, anybody, is there anybody that you would like to shout out? The floor is yours.
I'd love to give a special shout out to my team. You know, Sin, you know, Nexus, you know, they're, you know, definitely not over there trying to point at them. I want to give a special shout out to Josh. Hasaj really gave a real showing on how valuable he is to the team. You know, that automatically should be Rookie of the Year after this game. I mean, shooters were tough, but with Josh, I mean, it's just full confidence with that guy. Love Josh. You know, love you, Josh. I hope you're watching. Maybe not. I don't know what you're doing, but love Josh.
And
Valari. Love Valari. Pillows. Are they around here? I don't know, but love Valari.
Great pillows. Really good pillows.
Great pillows. Great pillows.
All right. We do
Any
appreciate
special
it.
shout-outs?
Nah, you covered it. I was going to shout out Josh, but we're good.
All right,
We're
I
all set.
appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your celebration.
Yeah, you
I know y'all are going to be hard at work for next week, and we will see you then.
Bye.
Bye.
If he loses this now, I don't even know.
You
All right,
lost
calm
to
down,
him.
TOG. You just lost to him. Calm down. Stay focused, bro. Stay focused.
Going great on his trail.
130 right now, hunting down that kill from the Bandits.
Oh, and there.
Ken, and that one goes in there, taking this one away. It's 5-2. The first half is really starting to go their way.
Yes, it is. Definitely is. This could be a run.
Did you know poor posture while gaming can cause serious neck and shoulder pain? Meet the Valari Pillow. This pillow is designed specifically for gamers. It gives your neck and shoulders the support they need, reduces strain, and helps you sit comfortably for hours. It's extra comfy and hey, you can even pick your style. It comes in rare, legendary, and epic levels. Match it with your setup by choosing from a variety of colors and designs. Don't wait for the next ache to hit. Level up your comfort with Valari. Use code UEL15 at checkout for 15% off your order. Grab yours today and feel the difference in your next gaming session.
And that is another week in the books. I'm joined now by AVR Director. Thank you for tuning in to UEL Week 7, the Ultimate In-Gamers League. It has been an amazing time. We were kept up by the SurfThing PCs, really proving y'all, just in case y'all didn't believe it, all 33 games were finished today on today's stream. And it looks like we will be seeing this Wolves team again on Thursday as they rise to try to take their first win. We ask you to join us back here then at 6 p.m. EST to have a little bit more fun. And if you are looking for something else during the week, technical timeout, 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST on Wednesdays on our YouTube channel.
Listen, whenever you guys are doing an interview, please be professional and stop acting like children. You are professionals. Y'all are getting paid as professionals. I'm not going to stand for the nonsense. All right?
And on that note, I have to let you know one thing. This is the UEL, the Ultimate In-Gamers League, where gamers
go pro.
Go.
Did you know poor posture while gaming can cause serious neck and shoulder pain? Meet the Volare pillow. This pillow is designed specifically for gamers. It gives your neck and shoulders the support they need, reduces strain, and helps you sit comfortably for hours. It's extra comfy and hey, you can even pick your style. It comes in rare, legendary, and epic levels. Match it with your setup by choosing from a variety of colors and designs. Don't wait for the next ache to hit. Level up your comfort with Volare. Use code UEL15 at checkout for 15% off your order. Grab yours today and feel the difference in your next gaming session.
If he loses this now, I don't even know.
You
All right,
lost
calm
to
down,
him.
TLG. You just lost to him. Calm down. Stay focused, bro. Stay focused.
Going great on his trail.
Right now, hunting down that kill from the bandits.
Oh, and there.
Ken, and that one goes in there, taking this one away. It's 5-2. The first half is really starting to go their way.
Yes, it is. Definitely is. This could be a runaway, like you're saying.